And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, and I don't know where to start. First of all, the government shutdown is over. Yes, it is. I think they said Trump's going to sign off on it tonight. So as of tonight, the shutdown will be officially over. Why was the shutdown around for so long? Why didn't it end earlier? Why did it start to begin with? We'll talk about all that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Ben Shapiro going viral on the interwebs for saying that maybe, just maybe, you don't deserve to live where you grew up. Maybe, just maybe, you got to move around and figure out a better place to be. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we got Epstein drama. They trying to release emails. Like, who actually cares? Like, didn't I tell y'all about this Epstein stuff? Didn't I tell y'all it was the left trying to just get in the way of what Trump was doing? It was the left trying to distract you from what's really important. Didn't I say that? And here we are. Once upon a time, it was conservatives whispering about it. Then it became the liberals screaming about it when they realized they could use it against us. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we got quite a few protesters openly admitting that they are paid, that they're being paid to do their job out there, so-called protesting. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. Thank y'all yet again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing thus far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. This whole thing, I see somebody right there release the files. It's like a troll at this point. You know, there's certain things that have happened on social media where it's like, whenever, it's like a knee-jerk reaction. Whenever someone says something, they say something else. It's like chant and repeat. When I say Trump, you say Epstein. Trump, Epstein. That's how y'all be. Whenever anything is out there about President Trump, he could be climbing the tree, freeing the trapped kitten, and y'all say, you know what, that's nice. I appreciate that. Shout out to the kitten. But where's the Epstein files? Ain't no Epstein files. And if they were to release Epstein files, if they actually existed, it'll hurt the left more than anybody else. It'd be unnecessarily destructive. But it ain't no Epstein files. It'll never come out. Whatever you're hoping is going to come out is not going to come out. If it was going to come out, it would have already come out. They put some out today talking about, oh, there's the email, explosive new email. I don't know about y'all, but me, I'm tired of clickbait. I don't like clickbait. I try not to do that. I try to just have a straightforward thing. In my videos, I get to the point within the first few seconds. If I can't really express my point within 90 seconds, I failed. I give you a full 10-minute video where I express my point in the first 90 to expound on the initial point that I make. I'm not trying to bury the lead. I'm not trying to clickbait you. I'm trying to give you what's going on. Then I'm going to give you an analysis of what's happening. That's what I try to do. I don't like the clickbait. This 3-eye atlas thing. Oh, well, the tail is gone and we don't know where it's at. It's like a clickbait thing to get you to watch. It'll lead nowhere. Same thing with the Epstein files. Brand new email, explosive, shocking, and it don't go nowhere. The email they put out today was talking about Virginia Giuffre. That's how you say her name. She already put a book out and said that Trump did nothing to her. So what are we talking about exactly? If there is an email where it said that Trump was alone with Virginia Giuffre for some hours, first of all, the media are trying to say one of Epstein's victims. Why don't you just say who it is? It's Virginia Giuffre. We have the unredacted files, quote unquote files. We have that, the unredacted emails. We already got that. So why don't you just say who it is? She wrote a book, and in her book, she said that Trump didn't do anything wrong. So what are we talking about? It's just clickbait. It's just a way to get people distracted because the Democrats did not do very well in 2020 to 2024, and they're not doing very well right now, and they shut the government down. Let's not worry about that. Hey, let's let bygones be bygones, okay? I know some of you big backs miss your food stamps because we did not replenish the EBT cards on time. I know we, the Democrats, did that. I'm speaking from their point of view. Don't nobody try to clip this and say I'm a Democrat. We did not fund the EBT cards. We let the big backs go hungry. So, hey, shiny object right here. Look at this. Don't worry about that. Forget about that. Like the Men in Black thing. Hey, Jeffrey Epstein. And there we go. You forgot all about all of what we did in 2020, 2024. You forgot about the lockdowns. You forgot about the shutdown. Forget about all that. Don't worry about it. And guess what? We went ahead and caved after their election because we were able to win. And that was part of it. You know, we wanted to get you guys riled up to go out there and vote for Zohran Mamdani. We wanted you to accelerate your own destruction. So congratulations. You did it. If you're still talking about Epstein, it's like, for what? Why? It's like a troll. It's the same thing with whenever a Jewish person says something people don't agree with, especially young people, young white guys. That's the number one group that I see you doing this. Young black guys too, that's trying to like be the same as the white guys. But what they do, oh, you got a check for $7,000. They say $7K. Oh, you got to check $7K. Listen, I don't know nothing about that. That's like a meme. I'm a little bit too old for some of these memes. I don't know nothing about that. To me, the whole you get paid $7K thing is the same as 6'7". Okay. I'm 41 years old. If you see me anywhere on God's green earth doing this, talking about 6'7", please call the police because something's wrong. Call the cops, call a psychiatrist, call somebody. Hey, ABL over here is acting a complete fool. This full-grown man with a gray beard talking about some 6'7" for no reason. Ain't no kids around. He don't got no nieces, nephews. He's just doing it just on GP. Something's wrong. I see the whole 7K thing the same as the 6'7". It's like a meme for young people that I'm not interested in. I'm not religious. I'm not into Israel. And that's not even really what I'm concerned about. All I'm concerned about is fact versus fiction. Your faith is your faith. If your faith is strong and you believe in Israel and, hey, I support you 100%. That's just not my faith. So when I see the comments talking about 7K, I think that's just a bunch of young white guys that don't have any kind of direction, broke, looking for a finger to point. The Jews have been in this country since the beginning, during slavery and all of that. They've been here since the beginning. So why is it all of a sudden now people want to say it's their fault why I'm not making any money? Why all of a sudden now? We were a prosperous nation. Well, we're still a prosperous nation still. We got challenges and we got pitfalls and there's pros and cons to the USA. But regardless of all of that, we're still the best. At one point, some may have said we were better. Throughout all those times, the Jews been here. So why is it all of a sudden now people want to say it's a Jew's fault? You weren't saying that in 1965. But now 2025, you want to say it. It's because a lot of y'all, I'm going to say this, not you guys who are watching because you guys are fantastic and brilliant. A lot of y'all are just lazy and don't want to do anything. Want to sit in your hind parts, eat food, get fat, play video games. Now listen, I like a video game when I got time. I like food in moderation. I'm not just going to be a useless sack of nothing doing just that and nothing else. I refuse to not live in society, contribute appropriately, and be a bump on the log. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to contribute to society in the best way I know how. And every day I'm thinking about ways that I can contribute better rather than just crying about the Jays. Because really, in my humble opinion, crying about the Jays is like crying about the white man. It's the same exact thing. When you get a little bit more woke, you go say, this particular ethnic group of Europeans, the Jewish people, because that's what they are. That's why you get a little bit more woke. It's like, nah, I ain't blaming the white man. I'm going to blame the Jews. All right, whatever. Anyway, yo, put the fries in the bag, bro. Matter of fact, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I'm not coming to your store, no way. You booger flicking. Anyway, the people who are not succeeding in this country want to blame somebody. those who are upset with their own life want to point the finger, whether it be the Jays, whether it be Trump, whether it be whoever. Now, some are going to say some on the right are doing that with the whole illegal alien thing. The problem with the illegal alien thing is the crime they bring. It's not about nothing else. And then beyond that, they're here illegally. So it's a matter of being fair. If I am to be punished for my crime, then they should as well. They shouldn't be given preferential treatment. They shouldn't be given all this money and the ability to not have a license and drive, no car insurance and drive, no legal status and live here and get money and send it back. They are doing things they shouldn't be doing. They have an advantage over us, and they are often preferred because of these advantages they have. Okay, and it's kind of akin to slavery, because beyond slavery being an abhorrent institution, it was also unfair to those who really wanted to work. Why would someone hire a working person to work and have to pay them when a slave would do it for $0? You see what I'm saying? So it's unfair to the working person who wants to succeed in the country. The same thing is happening with the illegal aliens. I'm not against immigration completely. I think we need to have limits, and there shouldn't be a bunch of illegal aliens running around who are not contributing properly to society, on welfare, committing crime, all kind of stuff, just like the Venezuelans, the Tren de Agua. I don't think that's going to be someone or some people that I would like to have in the country, gang members. I don't think anybody would want that, whether they're here legally or illegally. We got to be selective with who we bring into the country, because this is a important place, obviously the best country in the world. We don't want to ruin it with the dregs of society. That's just my humble opinion. So yeah, shout out to all you guys who work, who get up and don't make excuses. The excuses are ridiculous, man. It's kind of pathetic, to be totally honest with you. I mean, this is a country where it's kind of easy to make it compared to the rest of the world. Actually, compared to the rest of the world, it's very easy to make it. I can say with 100% certainty, if you put your mind to it, in America, you can be whatever you want to be. Now, there's exceptions. Don't nobody say, well, ABL, I got a club foot and my back is too short. All right. Okay. You got a little arm. Your back is, you got a short torso. You got turf toe. All right. Whatever. Okay. Whatever kind of excuse you got. Listen, I know guys in wheelchairs that's driving. I know guys in wheelchairs that cannot walk at all driving cars. Like, I'm talking about driving their mobility, and it wasn't even the van. I know one dude, I'm gonna tell you a quick story about perseverance, about not making excuses and going hard regardless of what's going on. So this is when I'm a graphic designer. At the time, I have no car. This is I'm like 27, right around that time. I'm kind of struggling a little bit at this particular point in my life. I have no car, but I'm still getting clients. So one of my clients was like, yo, okay, I got to meet you somewhere that has wheelchair accessibility. I can't really come to your house, but I could come get you. I'm like, how you going to do that? It's like, I drive, ain't no problem. He had a regular car, like a Toyota Camry or something. The wheelchair, all of that was in the back seat, and he would drive with a cane. He would be able to accelerate, brake, all of that with his cane. So he's driving the vehicle, one hand with the steering wheel, other hand he's operating the brake and the gas pedal. And it was like it was no problem. Some may take the I'm in the wheelchair thing as I can't do anything with my life, but that's not him. And he got shot, and that's why he was in the wheelchair. Did he just give up on life and say, you know what, I can't do it. I got shot. I can't walk anymore. Nah, he still made it happen. I know plenty of guys, disabilities, all of that, working, getting money every day. So I don't want to hear the excuses from people who are able-bodied, just sitting on their hind parts doing nothing, wanting to blame the Jews, wanting to blame them, wanting to blame the white man, wanting to blame whoever for their misfortune. Okay? I don't like it at all. So yeah, shout out to everybody that's disabled out there doing the best they can. Now, I know you can't do everything, but whatever you can do, do that. If you're able-bodied and you're young, especially, and you just kind of chilling, I don't respect that. I don't respect that. As for Nick Fuentes and the Groyper bunch, people say that's the future, ABL. They've been in the future for the past 10 years. When will the future get here? These guys about to be 30 years old still. And they grandma basement. When are they going to emerge from the basement and become somebody and actually do something in this country that's worthwhile rather than just online trolling? That's what I want to know. Okay. I have no problem with these guys being in the future, but what are they going to really do? What are they going to do? What are they going to do aside from trolling on the internet? I want them to actually bring a plan into action and execute. You got all these ideas. Who will implement these ideas? Who are you going to bring forth to actually do that? That's what I want to know. And until those questions can be answered, y'all just kind of playing around. But you guys don't really do that because y'all understand. That's why I appreciate y'all every day for rocking and rolling with me. You guys are the best. Shout out to everybody else, all the other communities out there. I want you guys to be productive. That's all. That's all I'm saying. And you got Trump talking about we got to have these H-1Bs in. Well, look, let me just say this. Let's talk about that for a second. We're going to get more into that later about the H-1Bs. There was a number, like 600,000 Chinese that's got to come in to the universities. That's not really a real number. We'll get to that later. The point is that Trump's talking about, we need these H-1Bs because we don't have enough people here to do all the jobs. The Democrats said, let's just open the border completely because we don't have enough here to do all the jobs. If Trump is saying a version of what the Democrats are saying, just to a lesser extent, I think maybe that the truth is being told here. I think at a certain point, there is a shortage of people. Many of us do want to work, but there are, I don't want to say many more, but maybe just as many or a lot of Americans who don't want to work. So that leaves us in a bad situation where it's not enough people like us in America who want to do what we do. They rather would just sit on their hind parts, point their finger, and blame. People don't want to leave their house. They don't want to do anything. People complain about those little delivery robots all over the place in Atlanta. They complain about these delivery robots, but people are requesting delivery robots to come to their house. Personally, I don't use Uber Eats, Uber snacks. I don't use none of that stuff. I'm the kind of guy to go pick up a pizza that I order in my car. I don't even really do pizza delivery. But some of y'all are so big back. Listen, you know what I saw today? What I saw today was a Chick-fil-A car. It had a wrap, a Chick-fil-A wrap. Like it had the logo and all that on there. Okay, so y'all big backs are getting Chick-fil-A stuff delivered in a Chick-fil-A vehicle. I mean, what in the world? What in the world? What's next? A 7-Eleven, a driverless vehicle, bringing a Big Gulp, a Slurpee, and a Slim Jim to your front door? That's lazy. That's lazy. And at a certain point, you could do that forever, never leave your house. And by the time anyone actually discovers you, you are the size of the house. You have gotten so fat, you've gotten as big as the surrounding area. That's kind of what's going on. So yeah, somebody said, I can't imagine eating pizza ABL. I do enjoy a pizza like once a month maybe, or once every 2 to 3 months. I had some pizza probably last month. Yeah, I don't do a lot of, I'm really, really strict about my diet. I have a big back day every now and again, just on GP, but normally, I'm salmon and rice, 1 meal a day. Coconut water, regular water. I'm really, really strict. I'm a monk when it comes to my diet. And that's why I'm not a big back. That's why I am energetic all the time, turned up all the time. I don't do no caffeine, no coffee, no energy drinks, no nothing. I'm just high on life. Okay. And I don't sleep all day. I got up at 8 a.m. this morning. I get up 8 a.m. every morning. And I was outside working on my lawn and all that kind of stuff today. Okay. I do a lot during the day because I fuel my body properly. That's the way you got to do it. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams, a legend in the chat. Shout out CGA. Hey, if you guys are not subscribed to CGA, you got to go check him out. I know some of y'all, he might be a little controversial, but CGA has one of the best channels on the internet. And if you hear CGA, one thing I like about you, man, is that you're very smart. You're a smart person. And you're able to understand how to see things for what they are. And that's why I like to watch certain people, because they're intelligent and I can learn from them. Okay, Elon Musk, people want to talk about Elon, talk about this, talk about that. But Elon is a very smart person and you can listen to him and gain a lot of good information. So I always like hearing from very smart people about certain things. So yeah, shout out to Coach Greg Adams and shout out to you guys as well. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Lori says, watch the rice. Well, the thing about rice, you got to just eat portions properly. I eat a quarter cup dry rice. Some of y'all eat rice like it's mashed potatoes. If you eat too much rice, it'd be bad for you. But if you eat enough rice, it's okay. The Japanese been eating rice for 10,000 years, and they get to be 100 years old with no problem. Brown rice, white rice, whatever. They eat rice all the time. But they don't have these really big portions. Go to Longhorn Steakhouse, Applebee's. Listen, I went to Applebee's or Chili's, one of those restaurants that's like that. I went there some months ago, and they had something I wanted, some kind of, I don't know what it was. Had beans and rice. It was something that I might want. I was just trying it out, seeing how it was. First of all, it wasn't all that, but second of all, the portion was so humongous. It's like, what can I do with this? We got a restaurant called Champy's out here in Chattanooga, and I think Morgan Freeman goes there occasionally when he comes into town. But anyway, you go there, you get some fried chicken. The plate is like this big, and it's like chicken just piled on top of each other, and that's one portion. And human beings would eat that, boom, one setting. And then that'll just be their dinner. They also had breakfast. They went, and first of all, they go to Starbucks okay. See, y'all got me started about diet. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna keep moving. What y'all would do for your day is go to Starbucks in the morning, 1,000 calories off the rip. You're gonna get a tall venti mocha chocolate latte and a lemon loaf. That's 1,000 calories off the rip with no nutritional value at all. All you're doing is drinking sugar and caffeine and eating sugar and carbohydrates. That's all. Just cane sugar, high fructose corn syrup, carbohydrates in general, just sugar and caffeine off rip. Then you go Chick-fil-A for lunch. You get that big Batmobile, pull up right to your office and deliver a chicken sandwich, a fry, and an ice cream with a soda. So that's probably about 1,500 or 2,000 calories right there. So automatically you at 3,000 calories for the day. Then you go home and go to Champy's and eat a mountain of fried chicken. You at 5,000 calories easy. And you're wondering why you're a bit bad. You go to the gym after that for 20 minutes for no reason. Smelling like all the sweets, okay? All the sweets and the cookies and the pies coming out of your pores. But anyway, I wanted to say that because y'all are asking me about diet. You got to improve your diet. You got to improve yourself. And society in America is not getting easier. You got to do what's necessary to be able to maintain yourself and advance in society. And if you don't, then it is what it is. Oh, dude says, what does on GP mean? Sounds like some 6'7" slang. Nah, on GP, that's old school. That's super old school. But what we would say is just because. That's what it means to say on GP, just because. But GP stands for general principle. That's what we think that it stands for, general principle. But basically just because. Like, there was a tweet I saw going around where somebody said, well, Kamala was going to give us $25,000 for a mortgage. Now Trump is getting 50-year mortgages. First of all, you can still get a 15-year mortgage or a 30-year mortgage or a 40-year mortgage. Those exist right now, or a 50-year mortgage. Trump's giving you multiple options to pick from. Okay, you could pay in cash if you want to. You could you could do a 15-year, a 30-year, a 40-year, or a 50-year. It's up to you. You don't have to get the 50-year mortgage, but if you don't have any money, if you want to be a bit back and drive Uber at 45 years old, well, how are you going to be able to afford a 15-year or a 30-year or pay it in cash? How are you going to do that? Either you got to just be more ambitious or get the 50-year mortgage. Or just rent. I mean, you have multiple choices. You don't have to take that choice. Okay. But the guy was saying Kamala was going to offer us $25,000. I'm like, all right, if my house is on the market for $575,000, I'll just bump it to $600,000 and take your $25,000 on GP. Just because it's available and I can have it. Why not? So what's the purpose in doing that? It doesn't really make any sense at all. Okay, that's right, Antara. General principle. That's right. But basically, just because. Okay. Oh, the worst phrase is it's giving. Yeah, that's that's that transgender black woman. They popularized that. Same thing with no shade. Before I continue, a bit about the word no shade. You know where that comes from, right? That comes from the black drag queens. Because what it referred to is, or a female impersonator, because they would shave really close and you couldn't tell that they were a man because there was no 5 o'clock shadow, no shade. So if you say no shade, understand where it comes from. That's why, hey, first of all, that didn't really appeal to me saying that phrase. But second of all, I know where it comes from, so I'm good on that. Tea and giving, that's all gay stuff. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. ABL, how'd you know that? I have an uncle who would cross-dress, and he told me that way back in the day when I was little. He told me that back in the day. He was talking about how when you shave real close and they can't tell, it's no shade. So yeah, I knew that back in the 90s before it became really popular. All right. I knew you were going to ask that. How you know that? I know a lot. I know a lot about a lot. If you ask me a question, a random question, I probably know the answer. Okay, no shade. Yeah, but that's what I don't know if I said that, but yeah, that's what it is. The no shade. That's where that comes from. So Squirm says 20-year mortgage, pay a little more and cut a third out of the interest. I mean, hey, I'll say there should be multiple options for you. You could get a 15, 20, 30, 40, 50-year mortgage, whatever you want. You could pay it in cash like the Californians do. The Californians, they coming over here with cash in their pocket. $1 million, boom, take that, and buying up houses that way. That's why when they move to a place, the market increases because they are able to pump up the value. Because if there's a bidding war, they're going to win. Because their properties are worth a lot more in their home state in California than they are out east. That's just kind of what that is. Mauricio says, bro, we just lost midterms. What you mean we just lost midterms? How did we lose midterms? Did the midterms just happen? I'm confused. I think the midterms is next year, right? How did we lose the midterms already? Paul 48 says, read where Trump took back the 50-year mortgage. What do you mean? That he did not go through it? That's not going to happen? I don't understand. Greg says 20-year, paid off in 6 years, electrician, OT. Wish that I had all the overtime taxes back. Hey, shout out to you, man. That's the dream, ain't it? And also, here's something else. If you have a 15-year mortgage, you could pay it off in a shorter amount of time. If you got the money, you could pay more than your actual mortgage, which is your minimum payment. That's your minimum. You could put more on your payment and apply that toward the principal to knock down your interest and knock down the time that you got to pay. So you don't have to take 30 years or 20 years or 50 years. It's just options. And I think the important thing to do is to increase home ownership. And as you are in your home, as you live, you want to continue to elevate and get better and better. So then you're able to maybe buy more property, get a new property, get a better deal on your mortgage, pay a lot of it down. Do it that way. That's the way you should do. Don't look at 50 years and say, oh, he doesn't want us to own anything. Your job is to go out there and be productive in society. Don't worry about the mortgage options. Don't look at that as some kind of restraint. Look at it as a tool you can use if you need to. But your main objective should be to make the most money possible so you don't have to worry about these kind of things. You be in the driver's seat and you can chart your own destiny. That's what I would say. All right. Hold on. Mandy says, ABO, you're not alone. I had an aunt turn into an uncle, so I'm with you on that. Hey, it happens. It happens. Okay, real estate is too inflated. It is inflated, yes. And what's going to happen? People cannot afford these prices, so the prices are going to go down. It has to. That's the only other way. I mean, out where I live at, it's some of these houses, and I think people kind of got a little bit of false hope because there is a big valuation. Like they might go on Zillow and see that their house has increased in value from when they bought it a few years ago by 100,000, 150,000 or whatever. Just because Zillow says it's worth a particular price does not mean that it actually sell. As I was saying in previous streams and previous videos, The value of whatever you own, the value of your property means nothing until you sell it, which the whole thing about President Trump, and he said that property was worth more than what it was. How can you even say that someone did that and they're somehow liable for it in the court of law? I can say whatever my house is worth, in my humble opinion. I could put out any number. I could say my house right now is worth $5 million. It's not worth that much, but I could say it's worth that much. It's up to whoever is buying it to say I agree or I disagree. If my house is on the market for years at this price, obviously it's not worth that much. What I got to do is bring the price down, lower my valuation, bring the price down, and then if I'm able to sell it at that particular point, it's worth that much money. That's just kind of how that goes. Now, you could say the appraisal could make a difference when it comes to refi and loans and HELOCs. That's a different story. But even in that case, you still have to have the banks coming through and inspect. They got to see if your house is worth. You can't just tell a bank, okay, yeah, I got a house, it's worth $5 million. Give me a loan based on that. They're going to do the due diligence. They're going to do their investigation, their research. They're going to appraise it. And then they're going to say, okay, we think it's worth this amount of money. Now, if you don't agree with that, you could try to negotiate if that's possible, or go with a different bank. Maybe you come across a few banks and find the one that has the best terms. That's how it works. That's not illegal. That's not a thing to go get in trouble for and pay $500 million. Ridiculous thing from the very beginning. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Renee says, apartment rent is going down. Well, there we go. Because, I mean, some of these apartments, these luxury apartments going for a crazy amount of money, people don't want to pay it. And I'm going to say one more thing. I know I'm talking a lot in the beginning. I'm going to say one more thing. Some of y'all got to understand you are not entitled to live in a beautiful place, a beautiful house, a beautiful environment. Okay, if you are 45 years old and you're working at Burger King flipping burgers, what do you expect out of your life? Do you expect to live in a beautiful place, a beautiful house, and have, you know, some beautiful top model wife? Is that what you expect? Nah, it don't work like that. You got to put in work. You got to go hard. You got to become more ambitious. You got to elevate yourself to get things that you want. So if you have that kind of experience, that kind of work ethic, which is not really there, a low work ethic, you're going to be in the hood. You're going to be in a less than desirable area. You might have roaches as neighbors, and it's okay because that's where you at. You might even be homeless. Hey, man, whatever. That's your life. That's your life. You got to figure it out. And like Ben Shapiro said, if that is not attractive to you, if you want to have better options, a better work-life balance, maybe try not being in Manhattan. Maybe try not being in Los Angeles. Maybe try not being in downtown Chicago or somewhere crazy expensive like that. Maybe go to Port Eltonville, USA. Maybe go be a chicken farmer somewhere in the country. Maybe go out there and raise soybean and corn and whatnot. Do that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But you got to understand who you are and what you're best able to do with your life. And don't expect anyone to give you anything. Don't expect any kind of entitlements, because if you rely upon the government to give you certain things, they can easily take it away. We saw with EBT. You rely upon the government. Okay, well, check it out. You're getting this thing for a certain amount of years. Now it's gone. What you going to do? Now you on TV crying. You 500 pounds and crying because the government has now cut you off. What you going to do? Anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Israel Ben is a con. Why is Israel this big topic? Why? I don't really understand. Well, I do. Blame the white man. But you know what? I'm woke. I'm really smart. I'm a big brain. So I'm blaming the Jews. All right. Okay, that's fine. All right. Now, you know what? I blame the Italians because of my monthly pizza addiction. I blame the Italians because of Mario and Luigi playing that game for 100 hours. I blame them for that. Okay, that's who I blame. Anyway, we got a whole lot going on here, but before we get into anything, shout out to you guys for watching. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Also, shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the box, or go to patriotpost.us. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, please go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, the t-shirts, stickers, the hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, please go to the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. I have an article for each long form video that I produce. And in each video, each article, we got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, please go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you're able to find my email address, my snail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you think you're conversing with me on the interwebs, you're probably not, especially if you did not email me first and I didn't respond. My email is contact@anthonyblogan.com. Again, contact@anthonyblogan.com. The email is on the website on the contact page. So you don't got to remember. Just go to the website, in the box, Google. I'm right there. I'm not going to be in the comment section talking about Bitcoin, foreign exchange, or whatever. Y'all know who's doing it. Okay. It is not going to be me. It's going to be an imposter. It's going to be my brother, but I don't know this guy. I don't know this guy at all. It's going to be an imposter trying to fool you and take your money. So please don't do that. We don't got no time for that in 2025. We don't got no time for no Indian dudes taking your money. And no hello, come again. We don't got no time for that. We don't got no time for that. We don't got no time for the Ukrainians, the Russians, the Slavs. If he dies, he dies. We don't have time for the scamming in 2025. Now, what some of us do have time for is a little bit of jazzercise before a protest in Portland, huh? A little bit of jazzercise before a protest in Portland. Okay, now let's just turn the music off because I ain't trying to get a strike. First of all, I want to say a positive thing, okay? I'm glad they're getting exercise because a lot of them, they probably don't get much exercise. The rhythm ain't really rhythming. They're a little bit off, and it's okay because this is probably their first time doing something like this. So maybe after a while, they get the hang of it. We got the men out there looking like women, all right? This is what happens when there's no actual men anywhere. Okay, this is what happens. Okay, look at this. The furry in the back, completely covered up. And you know what? I wanna say this. Them furry outfits gotta be blazing. I'm talking about super hot. When I was a kid and I go carnivals, theme parks, and I see somebody with the whole suit on, or like Chuck E. Cheese or something like this, I'm like, yo, they out here singing and dancing and carrying on. I know that suit is funky on the inside. So yeah, shout out to them getting a little bit of exercise out there in Portland. Okay, look at my man with the cape. Hey, they're doing it. So yeah, shout out to them. Getting exercise, man bun, pink visor, all that good stuff. These are the people, listen, these are the people calling you a fascist on the internet. These are the ones talking about Orange Man bad. All right, so whenever I see those kind of comments, I'm like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I just close my eyes and imagine them just like this. All right. That's what I see. So yeah, shout out to them. All right. Now, here is one of the protesters, the same kind of guy that might be doing jazzercise out there in front of ICE or whatever they were. Here is someone admitting that they are being paid. And we've had quite a few of these. So I think at this point, we can say with 100% certainty that many of these people are being paid to come out here and so-called protest.
I'm working. You guys are talking about workers over billionaires.
We are working as well.
You're working as well?
We are working. Yes.
I'm working today. Are you working today?
I'm doing it.
Okay. There's another one.
I want that guy to get out of my face. Look at what you're gonna do.
Shame on you. Shame on you. So who bought this?
That's none of your business.
They have walkie-talkies. They have body cams. A couple of them have megaphones, badges that are professionally made. They have speakers, boom boxes, the tents, the professional tables, the professional banners. Seems like funding from maybe a billionaire, George Soros.
Uh-oh. You know, they know that they're being paid. They know this is not all free stuff. You don't have all that just for free. You don't just get that out of nowhere. Somebody's paying for it. And I don't think that these people are the ones footing the bill. There's someone else or other people footing the bill.
Look at that smirk. She smiled when she heard his name because you like him, don't you? He gives you the big bucks, right?
Wow. That's hilarious.
The only time I've gotten her to walk away from me is when I try to pinpoint where the money's coming from. Oh, get this, Justin. About $10,000 for organs. Aren't you proud of what's on there? Where'd you get the money for this? Who's funding you? Who's funding you?
Now, they ain't gonna say nothing. They ain't gonna answer who's funding, but we all know that there is funding. Like this ain't just for no reason. These so-called protests, these protests are not organic at all. It's funded. It's a lot of money. George Soros is one guy, but it ain't just him. There's a lot of people doing a lot of bad things in this world. He's just one that we know. We know that name. It's when we say Soros, you already know what time it is. But there's quite a few guys and some girls, honestly, funding these kind of things. And I think we need to get down to the bottom of who's funding it. Because at a certain point, this is a subversive force in our nation.
Are you
now? The protesters talking about fascism. Do they know what fascism is? That's the question. Let's take a look.
out here protesting?
My name's Michelle, and I'm out here protesting because I'm against fascism.
Okay. What is fascism?
Fascism is words hard. Fascism is the authoritarian, why are words so hard right now? Sorry. Fascism is an authoritarianism that is about focusing on one demographic, right? So it's, I'm out of breath now. So it's taking over and excluding the people, excluding smaller demographics, and it's squashing opposition, right? So it's a regime that takes over for themselves and not for the actual people. This is supposed to be a democracy that is for the people, but this is just for them, and that's what fascism is.
Why are you out here protesting?
Okay, so there we go. You're protesting fascism and don't know what it is. Out of breath, words are hard. Why are you out of breath? You're not really running, jogging, nothing like that. You're walking at a regular pace. You just don't know what it is, yet you're out there protesting against it. Fascism is when you have basically like a dictator or a dictator-like figure, and all of what the nation does is in favor of the state. It's all about the state. The individual, any kind of attempt to try and any attempt to overthrow, any attempt to object, the leadership is squashed. And an individuality all about the state with a dictator in office. Mussolini was an example. Why are you out there protesting? You're just kind of an anti-Trump person. You see it right there. The hoodie says it. Anti-Trump AF. That's what you are. Just say that. Don't try to talk about fascism. Just say, you know what? I don't like Trump. And that's it. Why you don't like Trump? Orange man bad. I would accept that rather than saying I'm trying to protest against fascism. Like, what are we talking about? Silencing the people, exactly. Any kind of opposition is silenced. You want to be against the state, you want to be against leadership, okay, now you're going to be silenced. If Trump was a fascist, then it wouldn't be all these protests happening all over the country. There's been no protest that has been stopped. So what are we talking about? There's no trying to suspend your freedom of speech. None of that's happening. They tried to say that Trump was trying to suspend freedom of speech in the whole Jimmy Fallon situation, but really, not Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, same thing, tomato, tomato. But anyway, people were calling the FCC because they had a complaint about what Jimmy Kimmel said. It was the people saying, we don't like that. You have an FCC license and you guys are not supposed to air that kind of content. I was offended. And it's okay. It'd be the same way if an FCC channel was to display nudity. You can't do stuff like that on network, over the airwaves. You can't do that. So if you do it, you're going to get a bunch of complaints. People are going to say, no, I don't like this. This is not what I want. There's a social contract and you guys broke it. That was a complaint. And that's why he was suspended from the air. Because the complaints got so bad, it went to the big boss, Bob Iger at Disney. He said, hey, come on, Jimmy, you're doing too much. You got to apologize. Now we're going to do something to try to get back on there. That's what happened. And if Kimmel did not acquiesce, he would not be on the air right now. That's what happened. But anyway, should illegals be deported? Now, of course, we know the answer to this. I don't know who this guy is at the table. Maybe you guys know who he is, but I've not seen this. I just saw a little bit of it. Should illegals be deported? I think we all know the answer, but let's see what a man right here has got to say.
I don't think illegals should be deported, man.
Do you think nations should be allowed to exist and have borders?
Yeah.
So then, if someone comes in that border illegally, shouldn't they be removed?
No.
Well, doesn't that idea in your mind conflict itself? So on one hand, you say nations should have borders, but on another hand, anyone can come in and they're not allowed to enforce or protect their borders? Are nations allowed to have borders to limit who comes in and who comes out?
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
So then you're for deporting illegals then, right?
No.
Do you apply that to your own? Do you have an apartment here?
I knew you were going to bring that up.
So you have an apartment here? Are you okay with somebody just walking into your apartment illegally?
No.
Well, then why are you okay with someone walking into America illegally?
Because this is like land of the free. I don't think illegals.
I mean, the brain power ain't really powering. The brain engine has not really been fired up all the way. Trying to start a lawnmower, you're cranking it, brrr, brrr, ain't nothing going. That's pretty much what's happening right there. Okay, it might be a couple of sparks that go off, but ultimately the engine is not turning. The pistons are not firing at 100% capacity. Okay, why is it okay to have illegals here, but you are for borders, you are for nations, you are for your own home personal security? So if a person walks to your house illegally, uninvited, what's next? If you tell them, hey, get out, and they don't leave, what you going to do? You're going to call the police, right? And the police are going to extract them from your home. It's the same thing as the deportation of illegal aliens. They're here illegally. They shouldn't be here. Okay, we're going to call ICE. Okay, yo, come get him. He's acting the fool. Come get him right now. And they get him and they deport him. How is it any different than the police coming to your house to extract a burglar, a robber, or whoever, an uninvited guest? It's the same exact thing. I don't know, man. These guys, bro, man, we got to I don't know what happened, man. I feel like TikTok done ruined some brains. That the brain cells the brain cells were fragile. Okay, some of these guys got a little box of brain cells, and the few brain cells that were in there got scrambled by TikTok. So now we got NPCs walking around, no internal monologue, no real original thought, no logic, just, I don't know, whatever they are told to do by their phones, they'll pretty much do it. All right, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. All right, where we going to go next? Okay, Trump disappears people, and you can see the outfit. You can see the outfit. Hey, we have on another. They love Snuggies and cute little cuddly things. Is this like a Kermit the Frog, or is it like a special made? What's the frog? You know what I'm talking about. The meme frog. Is this a Kermit the Frog Snuggie, or is it a custom made meme frog Snuggie? What's happening? And since when did the frog become a symbol of the left? I don't really get it.
Trump's the fascist dictator, and how so?
Are you kidding me? He's taking away all of our rights. Freedom of speech, freedom to protest. He's disappearing people off the streets in America.
Is he going to come? You guys are protesting right now. Is he going to come sweep this up, you think?
He could.
It looks like you have the freedom to protest right now today.
Well, for right now I do. Knock on wood.
This was a fascist dictatorship. Do you think this could happen?
Have you seen the news headlines about people disappearing off the streets? Being kidnapped?
Being arrested by ICE?
No, kidnapped. Arrest is when you have due process. They're kidnapped.
People who came to this country illegally have a different level of due process than American citizens do. So like Obama, for instance, arrested 3 million people with ICE and deported them, right?
No.
He did. Okay, last question for you. It's the middle of the day on a Wednesday today. Do you guys have jobs?
It's none of your business.
Of course not, because they're making money right now doing this. Okay. And what was funny is how she just totally denied the Obama deportations. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. Why would you deny that? Yes, he did do that. I mean, you have to understand what you're out there protesting. Some don't even know what fascism is. They got the sign right there. If you ask her what it is, she's not going to know. She didn't know what the Obama deportation numbers were. She doesn't know much of anything. She's just out there just kind of chilling, having a good time with her custom-made Pepe the Frog. That's what it was. Pepe the Frog Snuggie. I thought that Pepe was supposed to be a racist frog, right? That's what the ADL said. But now all of a sudden, the left are using that for their own purposes. It's kind of weird. But yeah, shout out to her. Hey, you know what? If you made that and it's custom, you should just do that rather than worrying about being out here protesting a thing you have no idea. You have no clue. All right, shout out to her. She probably a school teacher. I see the ruler right. I see your school supplies, Miss Teacher. Your ruler, your yardstick or whatever that is. I see you. But anyway, shout out to her and the custom made Pepe the Frog Snuggie. Now, this is an important video. I'm not quite sure if I played it before, but if I did, I got to play it again. This is a police officer showing a young lady why it makes sense to be proactive in policing rather than reactive. Okay, if a guy pulls out a gun or a guy is reaching for a gun, the cop got to act first or very quickly to neutralize that threat rather than waiting for the guy to pull the gun completely and point it. If I see you fiddling with your hands or whatnot, I got to be immediately on my defense and put it into the threat because I know what's going to happen next. And if I don't act, I'm going to be in danger. Here's a good demonstration.
Okay, and I'm telling you that if you get to the key before me, I'm going to let you drive my police car around the block.
Okay.
That's how confident I am in the fact that I'm going to beat you, okay? But you can't move your hand until I move my hand.
Okay.
Okay, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay.
What the hell?
Why did I get to the key first?
Because I trusted you.
No, it wasn't the fact that you trusted me. It was the fact that action always beats reaction. So that's why police officers have to make moves first. Because if the person that they're encountering makes a move first, then there's a big problem. So police officers would typically like to point a gun at somebody that they think is a threat instead of them having to move their love handle out of the way and drop their safety and then pull a gun out and be behind the 8-ball. Just like you were right here. You thought you had an advantage. Well, if I think I have an advantage at work, I get in trouble. So that's the kind of stuff that we teach kids. Not that we're going to shoot anybody or that we're going to mean bad, but if there's a perception of a threat, that's oftentimes the way that we do things.
Exactly. That's the way it's got to go. People watch a lot of these police videos. They may see somebody get shot or somebody get beat up or somebody get tased, whatever. And then everybody want to be Monday morning quarterback. Oh, you could have shot him in his leg. You don't understand what you really got to do in that situation. You don't really get the best way to go about it when you are in danger. Not only you're in danger, but others are in danger. Okay, a cop comes on the scene. Somebody got a little kid hostage. You got to make actions immediately. Snap decisions. You can't wait. You can't allow them to take charge and dictate the situation. You got to be in charge. You got to control it to nullify the situation, keep everybody safe. That's the way it goes. So I'm glad he was able to show her that demonstration to really illustrate it, because sometimes you don't really get it until you see it, until you experience it. That's right, St. Andrew. Well illustrated. Very well illustrated. Absolutely. Paulo says they think life is like a movie. Shoot the gun out of his hand. Seriously? Exactly. That's what they think. It's like life is not a movie. Life is real. And real life requires real decisions to actually make sense. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Do you guys watch Miss Rachel? Is that what this is? I don't have kids, so I don't know nothing about Miss Rachel, but I have heard this is like a kid's influencer, I suppose. Like a Sesame Street type thing for the new generation. I don't really know. Y'all pardon my ignorance. I don't have any kids. But she's also a big time leftist from what I hear, promoting Zohran Mamdani. Is that what we doing on kid shows? When I was watching Sesame Street and reading Rainbow back in the day, I don't recall any political stuff being inserted in there. I remember the count. 1, 2, I don't remember Orange Man Bad, Mamdani Good. I don't remember that back in the late 80s watching Sesame Street. I'm just saying.
Hi, friends. Today's letter is M for Mom Donnie. Yay! Mom Donnie is brown, right? Which is better than white.
Wait a minute. Am I watching a parody? Is this real? Is this really real, or is it a parody? Y'all please, is this her? Because again, I don't know nothing about Miss Rachel. I don't want to get caught playing the parody. This can't be real, can it? Hold on, before I continue, I thought I looked this up. If I look this up, okay, this must be a parody. Yeah, it's got to be. Y'all let me know if it is or if it isn't. Okay, that's not her. Okay. All right. My bad. My bad. That's not her. Okay, I thought that was her, but like I say, I don't know nothing about nothing. Yeah, that's not real. Okay, thank you. My fault. My bad. I'm sorry. We're going to keep moving. I'm going to show you something that is real. I know this is real 100%. And you know I can verify because it's my video that I shot on my own phone on my own house. You got to get into the EBT thing because people have gotten the EBT cards refreshed and they got some EBT hauls. And we're going to check it out. Can I show you my fridge right quick, though? Can I show you my refrigerator? If you guys didn't see this, I'm going to show you my fridge. Okay, this is what I got in my fridge right now. And then we're going to see what the EBT folks have in their fridge and see the compare and contrast. And for a little bit of context, I have never in my 41 years of living ever had EBT. Not when I was a child, not as an adult, not ever had EBT. So here's my fridge.
You want to see what a fridge looks like from someone who has never had EBT in their life? There you go right here. Look, we got some Milo's tea, some cranberry juice, tomatoes, 2 avocados, and in a little pull-out drawer right here, we got some water, coconut water. That is it. Never had EBT in my life. This is my fridge. Hope you enjoy.
There we go. That's my fridge right there. Okay, no EBT. Now, all I'm missing right there is my salmon. So I went to the store after this and got some salmon. That's it. I have my dry rice on my countertop in mason jars. And I also have a thing of trail mix that I get. That's all I got. That's all I got. Oh, ABL, you're single. Okay, even if I wasn't single, it still wouldn't be chock full of garbage like some of these EBT fridges are. Okay, let's just, let's just show that. All right. Now, this is $1,000 of EBT stuff. They ain't even won it. They just left it in the cart. Now, I don't know why they just got all that stuff and didn't actually get it. They rang it up, but they just left. I don't know why they did that. But anyway, let's see what they wanted to get on EBT. Hey, go shopping. Nah, I got what I need. I got what I need. I go to the store about 2 to 3 days. Yeah. And I don't really, even when I go to the store, it's not that much in there. I'm not a big back. I'm physically fit. I'm in shape. Okay. And I'm going to be like this when I get to be old. I'm 41 years old. I got a lot of energy. I'm turned up all day long because of my diet. I don't pig out. I don't eat processed food, really. I eat a lot of whole food. I cook 5 days a week. Anyway, let's look at this cart right here. I'm going to show you a few carts.
This, y'all, this is why. This is why. This is why. Cause what? 3 carts full, y'all. Let me pass her a receipt. This joint said, y'all, they didn't even buy it, and that's what making me even more mad. And everything.
And the dollar amount, it says $1,013.73. Hungry Man fried chicken, stir fried baked Zeta, Salisbury steak, Hungry Man. Microwave, fake food. And they got the audacity to have dog food. Okay, you are on EBT, but you got to get EBT. Can you buy dog food with EBT? That's crazy. Anyway.
And everything won't even rung up yet, y'all. $1,013. This is why. This is why I be mad at work. This is why I don't want to work on the 1st, or the 2nd, or the 3rd, or the 4th.
So that's one right there. Okay. And what you said about not wanting to work on the 1st, or the 2nd, or the 3rd, or the 4th, or the 5th, that's EBT card refresh time. Everybody know that's like the window that you really don't want to go to Wally World or anywhere like that, because the lines are going to be through the roof. It's going to be carts full of junk, and you're going to get the worst of the worst in there acting the fool and entitled with their EBT benefits. But also, your EBT recipients are keeping these stores afloat. Your Wally World, some of your more lower income spots, especially, because they go in there and buy so much stuff. They are a big boon to the industry. Okay, now this has some music on it. I'm going to just turn this off. I'm going to show you what we got in the cart. Okay, we got Frosted Flakes, big Christmas candy. I think that's what it is right there. I think I would see that like on Christmas Day or something that looks like this. These little tubes. You got some grapes, oatmeal cream pies, all kind of boxes. Any kind of food in the box is not really food. For real. Okay. You got Hawaiian punch. Got some eggs. Okay, got some eggs. But hey, what will the eggs be used for? How are they going to prepare those eggs? Big back style with Velveeta cheese and salt and sugar and everything else. Okay, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. We got Frosted Flakes and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Oodles and noodles, cup noodles, some snacks, some chips, some water. Okay, we got water. That's great. We got a little bit of food in there, a little bit of nutrition. Go-Gurts. This is not food. Okay, fruit roll-ups, some milk. Just EBT benefits. And let's take a look at the fridge. Okay, it's empty, and now we got all this garbage in there. Red Baron, frozen pizza, Hot Pockets, all types of stuff. Just condiments that you can't even eat. A lot of the stuff not even edible right there. Look at the pantry. All the candy. We got tuna, Oreos, chocolate chip cookies, oatmeal cream pies, more of those. Potato chips, spaghetti sauce. Look at this. Mashed potatoes in a box. Disgusting. Caprice, Hawaiian punch, all of that. So this is your EBT haul right there. See what I'm saying? So you know what? The more I see videos like this, the more I get radicalized and say, you know what? Go ahead and just cancel the program. If you're going to buy that with the program, then I don't really understand. And this is why there was a proposal to limit what you can get, to limit some of this stuff, because obviously, if you eat like that, you're going to be sick. And this is from the taxpayer money. So if we subsidize your sickness and then we got to subsidize your treatment, it doesn't make any sense. Why are we paying for you to get sick? And then once you get sick, you're paying for that too. How about we don't pay for you to get sick so we can minimize your risk later to reduce the cost that we got to pay when you're talking about Medicare, Medicaid, etc. I mean, am I just speaking common sense or what's going on? Y'all let me know. Y'all give me some feedback on that, because this is ridiculous, man. I would never eat like that. That's all garbage, pure garbage. If you eat like that, you're going to be sick. And I'm not even trying to hate on them. I'm just saying, I want you guys to be healthy and live a long time. I don't want you guys to be sick. Okay. Now I'm going to show you some more carts. Okay. We got Vienna sausages. It's Vienna. Vienna sausages. Some synthetic cheese, Kraft singles. A little bit of everything. Let's just watch some of this, shall we? Is there sound?
What happens when you get your EBT?
We got some potatoes. Okay, more hot. They love Hot Pockets. This is a different person. Hot Pockets, cereal bars, all box food, processed fat, sugar, salt.
EBT. Y'all, I'm so hyped. I got my EBT bag. Got that EBT.
Okay, I'm just gonna hit a little bit. They got kids. I'm gonna show the kids. Let's just show her stock up her big bag snacks.
I heard that, y'all. We got our EBT. We gonna eat better today. Thank the Lord. We got our benefits today. But I heard they was gonna start swiping our cards and swiping the money and taking the money back. So as soon as it deposited into my card, I made sure I ran out that house so fast to go do a big compra. Thanks to my homegirl. She took me to BJ's. So we stocked up. We never stocked up like this before. But I made sure I took whatever I could off the card before they take that back, because
cookie dough ice cream.
The Lord only knew that we needed food. So I hope you guys enjoy my little EBT video. I'm also going to be donating some food. I got to situate that. I did post it on a couple.
Oh, my God. Lord have mercy. Velveeta, man. That's like kryptonite. I swear. For everything I love. Velveeta. If you, like, show me that box, it's like kryptonite. If I smell it, I'm going to pass out. If I smell Velveeta in your house, I'm leaving. You say, hey, ABL, you want to come to dinner? Sure, come to dinner. But what are you guys cooking? Macaroni and cheese, okay. How are we cooking it? Do we have any Velveeta involved? Yes? Okay, well, look, I'm sorry. If you like it, I love it, but I can't. I'm going to be in there crying tears. And I got to go to the hospital and get rejuvenated. And the only way for me to get back right is to get away from the Velveeta.
Places. I'm waiting to hear back for some people to see what happens. But I hope you enjoy my grocery haul. This isn't everything, but I showed what I could because it was just too much.
So that's what we got going on right there. Okay. We got some jasmine rice. Okay, I guess that's one good thing. Some rice. I wonder how you're gonna prepare that. So this is your EBT haul right here. This is what we got going on. Hot dogs, all processed stuff. Okay, probably some great F meat. Just not really anything that you should want to eat. Okay, not. Oh my gosh, man! Listen. If y'all eat like that, please stop it. I want you guys to be sick. I don't want you guys to be sick. I want you guys to be healthy. Okay, we got some more. Bags and bags and bags of garbage on the ground. called food. I don't see much food. We got some water. Okay, that's edible. Some body armor. They love them snack packs. They love those variety packs of chips and stuff like that. I'm seeing that quite a bit. Noodles, oodles and noodles, variety packs of chips, Hot Pockets, hot dogs. Yo, if you eat like that, you're gonna go, okay, we ain't gonna show the babies. They go to the pantry, stocked up. Now my thing is, how long will this food last? The so-called food, how long is it gonna last? Probably not long, because you got a house full of big bags. Okay, and they're gonna eat. You see them. You see the arms and the hands. You already see what's going. Look at the fridge. Look at the fridge. Now you saw my fridge. Look at their fridge. And I've never had EBT. They appear to be eating way too quote unquote good. Fridge stocked up full of garbage. Oh my goodness. My. Sarah says big bag foods provided by the United States American. 100% correct. 100%. Goodness gracious. Man, look. I think we need to just really reevaluate this program and understand that a lot of these industries, a lot of your food companies are subsidized by the federal government because the government gives benefits to the people and the people spend resources willingly on garbage. There are food companies who produce garbage for the EBT recipient and for the big bags. Dude says, Anthony Brown Logan, wow, you got a big bag fridge for like 5 items. Well, I had to get a regular size fridge. I mean, why not? You know, I got a regular size fridge. I mean, because that space is right there for the fridge. Now, I could live in a tiny house. Like, don't get it confused. I said it before. My house is a little bit too big for me. 2,800 square feet, a little bit too big. I prefer a house that's like 1,400 square feet. That's the perfect size for a house for me. I could live in a house that's like 500 square feet. And I wouldn't need a big back fridge. Give me one of them little small. I had a fridge back in the day. I don't know where it's at now, but I had a little small office fridge before. That's all I really need. All I'm gonna put in there is coconut water, salmon, and avocado was when they ready. And that's it. I'm not gonna put nothing else in there. All right. So you got a Walmart employee who says because of the EBT slowing up, they're not getting any online orders. So they're in there pretty much just chilling. And they're saying, okay, you got to do something else because you're not really getting any work because of the lack of EBT. This shows you how much the EBT culture is ingrained into our economy.
People not getting stamps, just walked in. And we only have 8 picks. So yeah, the team lead already done told us that they about to split us up and send us to different departments in like the next couple minutes. Yeah, shit looking critical, but on the bright side, I ordered me some Burger King because, you know, being bored and hungry never solved anything. Even not getting.
So you pretty much is in there chilling because the EBT, people are not able to order anything. So you're on EBT benefits, but you're getting your stuff, you're ordering. You having groceries, you're on EBT benefits and you having Walmart shop for groceries for you. The laziness and entitlement is off the hook. I have never in my life seen such madness. I've never in my life. It's crazy. It's a mess. All right, but if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And yes, the EBT cards have been refreshed in most of the USA, if I'm not mistaken. So, hey, shout out to them. They can go get the big back snacks in peace. We got a little bit of cussing here, but hear them out. I think what he said here, many of us feel with our heart and our soul.
I'm loving that these people cannot go to the store and buy straight shit food for their kids. I'm not on EBT, but when I would go to the store, this is my opinion, I disagreed strongly with all the frozen foods in the cart. I am very happy that you have to buy healthy choices now. It should have been like this from the start. Just my opinion, guys. Let it eat.
I agree with you 100%. I am glad, at least for a while, parents cannot feed their children garbage. Look, if you want to be an adult and eat whatever, rat poison, Velveeta, it's fine. But the kids are the problem. You got these overweight, sick children being fed garbage by their parents because of the EBT. Okay, so I'm glad at least for a while they got a breather from that bad food in their environment. I'm glad. And I hope that in the future, we're able to curtail that some more. Some real restrictions on what you can buy with your EBT benefits, because it's about a health issue for the children. Again, you want to be an adult, okay, but your kids, man, that's the issue. You can't be feeding your kids Pop-Tarts and oodles and noodles and hot dogs and all of that Velveeta all day. That ain't, they're going to have a bad stomach. They're going to be sick. It's a mess. I don't get sick. I don't get injured. I feel good all the time because of my diet and my lifestyle. I'm an active person. I'm not a big back glued to my couch, and I don't eat big back foods. So shout out to him. I appreciate what he said 100%. Now, we got another person with his opinion. Again, a little bit of language, so cover the little baby's ears.
I'm honestly thankful this snap shit is over. I'm thankful because you motherfuckers ain't this shit but cry about the fact that you don't get your food stamps no more. Your food stamps? You motherfuckers get food stamps, housing, daycare assistance, motherfucking medical assistance. I wish I got your motherfucking medical assistance. You know what happens if I don't get my black ass up and go to work? My family dies. My son takes 4 shots of motherfucking insulin a day. If he don't get that, he dies. My wife's in the hospital right now having motherfucking blood infusions because if she don't get them, she dies. Come pay my motherfucking insurance for me. Y'all worried about petty ass food. I go to work every motherfucking day to make sure my family fucking lives. You motherfuckers sit at home and cry about some bullshit. Fuck your feelings. Y'all ain't doing shit but motherfucking making your own life bad. You terrible. You fucking your own shit up, but then want to cry to the rest of the world because ain't nobody giving you the lifestyle somebody else might earn. Y'all some petty motherfuckers. And when your life get fucked up, then you realize how fucking petty you are. Until then, I'm going to keep telling you how petty you are because you motherfuckers ain't grateful for shit. You sit around and complain about everything you do get for fucking free and motherfucking don't want to get off your lazy ass and do nothing. So fuck you, fuck your feelings, and you have a motherfucking nice day. Good week to you all.
Hey, my man is right on point. Listen, I wouldn't cuss as much, but it don't matter. His feeling, his sentiment is right on point. And the main thing is the entitlement. Crying about things that are given to you for free. Why cry about it? It's free. If you want more, if you want better, you got to go out there, put in the work, and earn it. That's how it's got to be. You can't sit on your hind parts, chilling, able-bodied, big back, and then say, well, I'm not getting this and I'm not getting that. Like the whole thing about the soda pops. Okay, the soda pop. Oh, they're going to cut the soda from the EBT benefits. All right, well, why are you crying about it? If you want to drink Mountain Dew all day and rot your teeth out, like if you want to drink Mountain Dew all day and rot your teeth like a meth addict, then go out there and get a job and pay for your Mountain Dew to do that. And then when you got to go to the dentist eventually because of your teeth being rotted, pay for that as well. Don't say the state is responsible to pay for your teeth being rotted with the Mountain Dew and then the medical from your teeth being rotted. You go out there and do things on your own. And you know what? This is even more of a reason to cut down on the EBT and all the government benefits, because when you get a thing for free, you don't really value it. It's just like whatever. It's like a house, a Section 8 house. When you're in there, it's like, whatever. I tear it up, do whatever I want. I'm not really paying for it. I'm paying $20 a month. You don't appreciate it because there's no work that you had to put in to get it. When you work hard, when you got blood, sweat, and tears to be able to get something, you appreciate it a lot more. In true poor countries, there is no obesity. Why? Because food is hard to come by. You got to actually work and do things to be able to have your food. Once upon a time, especially in the community, people had gardens. People still got gardens now, but not as much as in the past. You had to actually grow food at a certain point and preserve it. It was a precious thing, but now it's so readily available and there's so many bad options you can go to the store and get. You take it for granted because it's given to you for free. And of course, when you get it for free, you just become a glutton. And that's how you got a bunch of these big backs roaming the country. But yeah, it wasn't my brother. Yeah, hey, he might as well be. It's my brother. It's my brother in Christ. But yeah, shout out to him. And speaking about sody pops and whatnot, my man right here is he delivers Walmart groceries, and he's talking about the main order that he's getting from the EBT recipients when their card got refreshed.
So once again, everybody, I deliver groceries for Walmart. I work for Spark. EBT hit in Michigan yesterday. Before EBT hit, I think I moved one Home Depot order and groceries. I was moving a lot of groceries yesterday before EBT hit. And all of these people were paying with cash, not EBT. EBT hit. The number one item I was moving was pop. Like, I'd be going to orders of people who had EBT, and I know they had EBT. I know for a fact it was EBT, because as soon as you make the delivery, within 5 minutes, the tip gets erased. People who pay with cash, they don't erase the tip. Everyone who pays with EBT erases the tip. And yesterday, after EBT hit, I moved more pop than I moved food. Yeah.
So that tells you what the priority is. The sody pops, the sugar, the salt, the fat, all the bad things. We are subsidizing the poor health of Americans. You shouldn't be drinking no soda. Okay, maybe you could have every now and again. You know, I ain't trying to say you got to be a monk like me. You don't got to, but that shouldn't be the number one order more than the food. Especially since I was told that the EBT recipients are going to starve to death. Okay, so when EBT gets cut off and then gets cut back on, the main thing they get is soda, not food. Oh, okay. That tells you what the priority is and where the money really goes. Junk, garbage, things you don't need. If you don't know what a pop is, that's soda. Okay, soda pop. Some say pop, some say soda. When I was a kid, it was different. Like in West Virginia, they would say pop. In Virginia, they would say soda. So I would kind of like interchange it. Soda pop. Yeah, I probably would say both at the same time. Or I would just say soda. But yeah, shout out to him. Okay, my man right here says he needs his EBT and government assistance because he can't work. He's got to have these benefits. And if he doesn't, what is he going to do? Okay, let's hear from him, shall we?
Me personally, I'm in sober living, and I can't work because I'm doing GED program right now. Like I'm going to school right now, and it's like right now with the government shutdown, the big beautiful bill that's going on right now. You probably heard of it. It's causing issues for me because I'm on EBT, so I can eat, and they're shutting it down next month, and I won't be able to eat, which is going to cause big issues. And if I went to a food bank, with everything shut down, all the food's going to be gone. So I'm not going to be able to eat. Me personally.
Okay, first of all, congrats on being sober and going for a GED, getting your life back on track. Congrats to you for that. But the camera zoom out was crazy. Okay, the camera zoom out. Say I'm not going to be able to eat all this, that, and the third. Well, look, maybe a little fast might do you some good. A little fast. It won't be for too long. You'll be okay. If you went a week without eating, you'd be fine. I promise. And you living in LA, I believe. I see your hat and I kind of see what's going on with the palm trees and whatnot in the background. You can find some food somewhere. You have the whole homeless industrial complex, the drug addict industrial complex out there, you'll find some food. Okay, don't worry. But you know what? The first mistake was getting involved with drugs. So now you got to be able to kind of fix it. It can be some hard times. The government is not responsible to fund your entire treatment the entire time. My advice would have been to not get on drugs to begin with. Drugs are bad. I always talk about drugs. Drugs are killing this country. And my man right here is another victim of it. Not taking necessary steps to get off it or to avoid it. And now we got to try to pick up the pieces. But you can't point the finger at somebody else while you are trying to fix your life. You can't point the finger at the president because you can't get what you want to fix your mistake. That's just how life is. You know, we make mistakes all the time and we got to fix it. If I make a mistake, if I do something, I can't point to somebody else as the reason why I can't fix it. It's my mistake. I got to fix it. That's how that works. So yeah, shout out to my man. You'll be just fine. 2 or 3 or 4 or a week without food, it's not going to hurt you at all, I promise. And you know what? It might actually do some good. You know, go through it fast, get them drugs out of your system, a lot of these bad foods and whatnot out of your system, do the fast, and then take my diet approach, salmon, rice, all of that. You will feel better, you will look better, and you will be better. Mentally, physically, spiritually, you'll be much better if you intake the proper things and let go of the bad things that have been on your back for quite a while now. Yeah, the cameraman, Monique, the cameraman is slick. Okay, zooming out. Someone, I can't eat. Well, it's like, well, you've been eating quite a bit. You got enough stored on you. The camel hump, you got that already, so it's fine. You'll be just fine. Don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okie dokie. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, speaking about California, Los Angeles, here is a drive-thru. We got some music right here. Here's a drive-thru. Now, I showed y'all the drive-thru. Now, it wasn't a drive-thru that I showed you. It was inside the store. A Popeyes, I believe, in Oakland with the bulletproof glass everywhere, like a fortress. Here is a fast food spot, restaurant spot in Compton, Los Angeles, California. And you see what's going on here. Okay. Now, normally it's closed up like that. You can't get in there. And I'm seeing, you know, a little bit of graffiti and whatnot around it. Then they just do that. They swivel it around and get your bag right there. Hey, ain't nobody in the window that you can see. Ain't nobody saying hello, have a nice day, and none of that. And eventually what they're going to do, they compare it with AI. So the AI might talk at you at best, and the AI will move the actual thing. Hold on. You can see her in there a little bit. Look, hiding in there. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not trying to have to hide in a box to deliver some food, to bring the food out. You got a little bar right there. A bar on a drive-through window is nuts. But city of Compton, that's what we got going on. Hey, this kind of goes to my point. If you can't afford to live somewhere, if where you live is not really what you would like, you got to go somewhere else. My man right here said he just realized it costs 3 times as much to live in London than New York City. Now, to you guys who travel, maybe you are from London, New York City, whatever. What do y'all think about this? Is that on point, off point? Let's hear from him.
I moved to London a couple years ago, and I swear it costs 3 times as much to live here than it does in New York City. And granted, I did get like a $20,000 due to my role relocation bonus, but without that, I genuinely don't know how we would have survived up until now, because I make around like 180,000 quid per year. That's 225,000 US, but 60,000 of that goes to pension. Another 45% then goes to income tax, 13% of which then goes to like national insurance tax. Then apparently because our flat is in Islington, we have to also pay council tax as well. Point is, according to the spreadsheet, my monthly take home is around 2,500 quid or 8,100 US. For somebody who makes 180,000 quid or $225,000 per year. And this is what we're spending just to get by and survive. Rent is, 2,400 for this place, but fortunately we have street parking and that permit is like 100 quid for the entire year. Third Space gym membership is 200 quid. Weekly date night in Mayfair is minimum 300 quid per week. Uber Black membership, just because the tube's crowded and not very safe, is 500 quid per month. Soho House is another 600 quid. Deliveroo, for you Americans, that's basically Uber Eats. That's 1,500 quid per month.
$1,500 for Uber Eats. Bro, did I hear that right? Did I hear that right? Wait a minute. Now, not even dollars, quid. And by the way, is there a better word you can use rather than quid? I don't like that. Quid. It sounds like squid. But anyway.
For you Americans, that's basically Uber Eats. Not very safe, is 500 quid per month. Soho House is another 600 quid. Deliveroo, for you Americans, that's basically Uber Eats. That's 1,500 quid per month.
So is that including the groceries, or are you just paying for the delivery? I don't understand. And if it's for the groceries, still that's expensive. Either way, I can't even really wrap my head around that.
You're also hotels, travel related expenses, because we do like a weekend getaway to Paris usually. That's minimum 1,500 quid per month.
Okay, so now I see you spending a lot of money. Oh, I gotta go to Paris so we can get away. Yeah, I gotta go to Paris. I gotta get the Uber Blacks because the tube is unsafe, and I gotta get my Uber Eats because I can't go to the grocery store and shop for myself. So I gotta pay $1,500 a month for that too. I gotta do that.
Month. Student loans from King's College, and I still have some undergrad loans from Southern Institute of Technology. That's another like $1,500. But look, I make coffee at home. I do run clubs on the weekend. We don't have a very posh lifestyle. Like, I would not be able to survive here if it wasn't for my Gam Gams trust fund.
No way. Bro, you make 225 quid a year talking about I could not survive in London if not for my Gam Gams trust fund. Well, maybe if you didn't go to Paris every weekend or whenever you go, maybe if you just went and got your own groceries, maybe if you didn't buy Uber Blacks all the time, okay, and you got a parking space that you pay for, yet you're paying for Uber Black. You don't drive your car? You have a bad spending habit. That's what's going on. A lot of people have bad spending habits. That's really the problem. Okay, totally the problem. Not very posh. It sounds posh to me. Hey, Keep Right says, not very posh, question mark. It sounds very posh to me. What's quid? That's like the equivalent of a British pound. That's their currency. That's like our dollar, basically. So SR says it. Quid is slang for the British pound. 1 quid equals $1.31. All right. Dude says, what happens when people can't afford even living in the worst of the hood and the ghettos? Where they go then? Well, I'm not really sure that's a thing. I'm not really sure. I think people just don't want to go there, so they rather would just be homeless or something. You know, you can make it. You can survive. Okay, let's talk about Ben Shapiro, shall we? Because a lot of the Fuentes crowd got upset at this, but this is just reality. If you cannot afford to live in a place like New York City, which we're talking about right here, people say if you can't afford to live here, he's talking about New York City because the context was Zohran Mamdani and the promises. If you cannot afford to live in New York City, then find somewhere else. Find the place that's better for you, or just level up to be able to afford to live there. If you want to live in Manhattan and stuff like this, you got to be able to have the money to do it. If you don't, then go elsewhere.
If you're a young person and you can't afford to live here, then maybe you should not live here. I mean, that is a real thing. I know that we've now grown up in a society that says that you deserve to live where you grew up. But the reality is that the history of America is almost literally the opposite of that. The history of America is you go to a place where there is opportunity. And if the opportunities are limited here and they're not changing, then you really should try to think about other places where you have better opportunities. If you're a young person and you can't afford to live here.
What he's saying is right on point. People got offended talking about, well, Israel. And that's the funniest example because that just kind of underlines his point. Because Israel as it exists today did not exist. Israel as it exists today did not exist until 1948. So where were the Jews in Israel today before 1948? Ukraine, Russia, Hungary, USA, all over the world. And they moved to Israel. Why? Better opportunity. Okay, the homeland, whatever it is. They moved there for a reason. Americans have always moved all over the country, because let's talk about how the nation first started back in the 1600s with the first colonies, the first 13 colonies, Virginia, all of that, where I'm from. That's where it first started. But it didn't just end there. People didn't just say back then, okay, I'm from Virginia, I'm never going to travel or go anywhere else. People settled further and further west, all the way to California. Then they went up north, went to Canada, got that from Russia. Then they went to Hawaii, took that, unfortunately. Puerto Rico, we went all over the whole world. The Europeans themselves, aside from the Jews, they went all over the world. The Spanish, the Dutch, the Swedes, the English, the Belgians went all over the world. They left their hometown for better opportunities. Everybody always does that. The Mayans came from Asia through the Bering Strait over the land bridge and went to South America. They were not native to that place. People have always moved. A lot of your Native American nations moved around. Aside from the Charioteers, aside from that, before that, they were moving around. Africans moved as well. Africans still to this day are migratory. They would go to a particular place in a season and then come back. Kind of like how birds do. They fly, southward or winter, I believe. That's not a thing that's new. But I guess people just are upset. They're saying, oh, we're trying to leave, we're trying to escape Nah. Sometimes you got to leave your hometown. Sometimes if you're living in a place and it's not serving your best interest, it's time to go. And, it's a valiant effort from those who want to try to save California. I'm not leaving. Okay. Well, a lot of your neighbors are already left. A lot of Californians all over the United States. They spread like a virus. The bad ones I'm talking about. The good ones, good. The bad ones spread like a virus. They're in Idaho and Colorado and everywhere else. Because California is no longer serving their purposes. Now, my hope would be if you leave and go somewhere else, you would be a positive force there. You wouldn't be a bump on the log or anything like that. That'd be my hope. People always leave, though. That's not really a thing. Like I said in my video, I've lived in 12 different homes in my life in 3 different states. West Virginia, Virginia, and Tennessee. And I probably will go somewhere else. Texas is calling my name. Georgia specifically. I mean, I probably already would have been in Georgia if not for the fact I own my house in Tennessee. If I didn't own this house, I probably would have already left and went to Georgia. Like that would have been my next step. I probably would have went there like 3 years ago. So, and then of course, Tennessee, we got no state income tax. If Georgia announces no state income tax, hey man, it'd be a decision to make. I'd be like, you know what? I'm about to go down there and be there. Who knows? I'm not settled upon living in one place. The military brats lived all over the whole country, all over the whole world. Okay, they were in Ramstein, Germany. Then they went to Okinawa. Then they came to Virginia Beach. Then they went to El Paso, Texas. Then they went to San Diego. Then they went all over the place. Guam, Hawaii, everywhere. So why are you entitled to live in the country or in the city or the town that you grew up in? Why do you have to do that when you could go and seek greener pastures and seek better opportunities for education and employment? My family has never, ever been on welfare. Never, ever been on welfare. We've always moved to a better place for education and employment. My dad did that. When I was born, I'm a baby. The plan was we're going to be here in West Virginia forever. But dad got a better job in Virginia. So we moved. Now, my grandma and them, they were mad because I was a golden child. Everybody loved, but we got to go. And when we went to Virginia, we moved around a lot there. We had a trailer at first in the trailer park. Then we were in the hood for a while, hotels and whatnot. And we kept moving on up. We kept elevating. Okay, we in the trailer park. Then we in the hood. We stay there for a while. When I get to be like high school, now we got a house. And now she got the house paid off. My dad had a house paid off. Now I got a house. We keep moving on up. You don't just stay stagnant if you can. Move around, you move around. So yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. If you enjoy your hometown, that's great. But Americans in general have always moved. We've always gone to new places. We've always searched for better opportunities. Always. That's always been the thing. Even with college, people may not go to a place where they grew up. Okay, they're gonna go search. All right, I'm living in Wilmington, Delaware. Maybe I want to go to West Virginia to go to college out there in Pittsburgh, Morgantown, that area. It ain't that far away, but it is kind of far enough. Or maybe I go to California. Maybe I go to Chicago. Who knows? I might go overseas like your man did. Who was that? Luigi Mangione went overseas, messing with the Lady Boys. People have always done that. It ain't nothing new. It's hard to leave Atlanta. Atlanta is best. Hey, I love Atlanta. Atlanta is Wakanda. I love it. Shout out to Atlanta. Some don't like Atlanta. That's fine. It just keeps the population from growing to be out of control, even more than what it is. Maurice Strong says mostly people would move because of a new job. You know, my father came to Maryland because his job sent him there. That's it. Exactly. My dad was the same way. He had a job in Virginia. That's why he came to Virginia. Okay. And people always get pushed out though. Gentrification is a thing. That's always been a thing. Okay, you living in a place that has had one kind of income, one kind of people, and then your place grows. It's a double-edged sword because people always say they want more economic opportunity in their hometown. They want better jobs and better schools, better this, better that. But with investment, with employment, with better schools comes better people, more skilled and educated people. And they're going to drive the cost of housing up, the cost of everything up. So if you can't keep up, what are you going to do? It's one of those things. With growth comes growth. If you have not grown, then you kind of left out. That's kind of how it is. It's like when you're in New York, you got gentrification going on. You're living in a place like Brooklyn, right? In Brooklyn, you might have been in an area that wasn't really super rich, working class or whatever. Here comes the hipsters and their Starbucks and everything else. They bring in a bunch of money. Yeah. But also that apartment that you wanted is now double the price. If you don't want it to be double the price, then you should not also want the investment. With the investment, with the more money comes higher rent and everything else. All right. So yeah, shout out to Ben Shapiro. He's right on point though. I don't see why anybody got a problem with what he said. But anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Linda's son. Have you heard about Linda's son? Linda's son, a former Kathy Hochul aide, is a Chinese spy. China paid her $18.1 million. And what did she buy with that? A $3.6 million mansion, a $1.9 million condo, that's what they would buy. Anyway, and a 2024 Ferrari. And the purpose of her being paid that money as a spy was to influence New York State's governance because, again, she is a former Kathy Hochul aide. And here is the woman talking. I guess before all this broke, and you can see the nice house. Is that a condo? That's not a condo. That is a house. Hold on. Oh, she got a mansion and a condo. Okay, my fault. So there goes a mansion for 3.6. There goes a nice Ferrari right there. My thing, if you're going to be a spy and get paid all that money, why would you buy this ridiculously lavish stuff? I mean, you just kind of not even really trying to hide it. How are you going to be an aide for Kathy Hochul and be able to afford all that? Use your brain a little bit.
I think, when people say diversity and inclusion, I think everybody agrees, or most people generally agree that it's a good thing, right? But I think right now we also need to bring in the word equity, right? Diversity is when you say that there's, many different types of people with different backgrounds and they're all, invited to the table. Inclusion is when, we include all of their ideas. But equity is when we make sure that all of the people who are at the table have equal access to making sure that their ideas and their thoughts are heard. And unfortunately, I think some of the statistics that you quoted is that we don't have that much leadership or weight.
All right, there we go. So that's her talking about DEI and whatnot. And she is straight from China. She's not an American. She has a convincing accent to where it's like, oh, well, she might have been here for a long time. No, straight from China. Chinese Communist Party, a straight up spy who was sent here to do what she did. Okay, that's just what that is. All right, and then we got an article just so you know I'm not making it up. Okay, former aide to 2 New York governors accused of being Chinese agent goes on trial for money laundering and fraud. Okay, so look, a high-ranking official at the Chinese consulate in New York shipped over a dozen Nanjing-style salted ducks prepared by his personal chef to the parents of a former aide to 2 New York governors. The aide also received tickets to the events, including a concert at Carnegie Hall and a ballet at Lincoln Center, and millions of dollars in kickbacks. Okay, and prosecutors allege in exchange for those gifts, Linda's son acted as an undisclosed agent of the People's Republic of China and the Chinese Communist Party, where she covertly promoted their agenda and shaped New York State officials' positions to their benefit. And right now we are on CNN. All right. So just so you know, this ain't no right-wing, biased website at all. There we go. A lot of these Chinese spies all over the place. Fang, fang, yum, yum. You know how it is. You know how it go. All right. Now, speaking of corrupt politicians, another Democrat, this time Massachusetts Democrat Governor Maura Healey's deputy director had 8 kilograms of cocaine, which is about 18 pounds, addressed to him, delivered to the state office building. So whatever Hunter Biden or whoever that was had at the White House is nothing compared to this. 18 pounds, 8 bricks, 8 bricks delivered to the state house. Bro, you got to be the dumbest human on planet Earth to do that. Hold on. Let me find a proper news clip for that. 8 kilos, bro. 8 bricks to the state house. Hold on. All right, hold on. Maura Healey. Cocaine. All right, hold on. There we go.
One of Governor Maura Healey's staffers.
Right, hold on. Don't start too soon. All right.
Staffers has.
All right, there we go right there. Peacocking, flossing, your pretty little hairstyle with your little swoop part and your jacket. Why?
One of Governor Maura Healey's staffers has been charged with trafficking cocaine. Lamar Cook was arraigned in Western Mass today. Investigators say they intercepted a delivery of drugs at the state office building where Cook worked. We do have live team coverage. 5 Investigates Mike Bodette is pushing for accountability with the Healey administration, but we do begin with our Sarah Kanji, who's live in Springfield, where all of this is unfolding. Sarah.
Jessica, Lamar Cook worked in this state office building here in Springfield, where since 2023 he served as a liaison between Western Mass counties and Governor Healey. But now he is in trouble with the law. The 45-year-old is accused of drug trafficking and illegal possession of a firearm. Investigators allege Cook had a package of cocaine delivered to the state office building last Saturday. And in a sting operation, undercover police delivered the package. This drug delivery was one of 3 the state police connected to Cook.
8 bricks to the state house, to the Capitol. Bro, you got to be the dumbest person on planet Earth to do something like that. The dumbest human to ever draw breath. I mean, good grief. Why would you do that?
Defendant is a.
You already got a job. Like you trying to sell drugs on the side. You trying to be a rapper or something.
Alleged to have accepted a package or have a package sent to him that contained over 7 kilograms of cocaine.
And we're looking forward just to getting some good facts out there and getting this gentleman back home with his family.
Now, the police reports include surveillance photos allegedly.
Yo, this is like a movie. This is like Friday. Said they got me on tape selling boxes. How you get fired on your day off? They got him on tape with the boxes, with the bricks. Like he moving furniture. Bro.
Of Cook receiving packages with drugs on 2 occasions at Hotel UMass in Amherst, where he once managed. The DA's office says police seized 21 kilograms of suspected cocaine over all of these deliveries.
You had 21 bricks. Bro, you need to go to jail forever. And my thing is like, what are you doing? You trying to be a drug kingpin? You got a job, man. You have a job. Like back in my day, the dope boys did not have jobs. They were just trying to do that to make money. You work for the governor. What are you doing?
That again, that they connect to Cook. Now he is being held in custody until a dangerousness hearing that is scheduled for Friday.
Oh my goodness, that is crazy. Hey, listen, Massachusetts. What y'all got going to Massachusetts, man? Listen, rappers are actors. These guys are not real. The guys that talk about selling drugs and moving bricks, they're not really doing that. They're not actually doing that. And if they are doing that, they're going to get immediately locked up. If they are doing that, the feds are looking at them. The feds taking pictures. They see you. They see you. I told y'all I've been involved with something like this. Now, I never sold no drugs, never did nothing illegal, but some friends of mine apparently were doing something. Now, I'm not hanging out with these guys every day. These like business associates, okay? I'm friendly enough to just give you these box of club flyers and that's it. Friend of mine got investigated by the feds. They were surveilling them and they surveilled him and they probably saw me going to his restaurant with a box like the dude had, okay? They probably saw me like this. Hold on. They saw me like this with some boxes going to his club. So I'm like, oh, is this guy serving the bricks? Is this the plug? So I wound up getting audited by the city. And when I called a lady, she was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I explained to her what was going on. I'm just doing club flyers. That's all. I got a box like that because it has 5,000 flyers in it. That's all I do. I'm not a kingpin. I don't do drugs. I don't sell drugs. I don't do nothing. But you, bro, wanted to be a dope boy, wanted to move bricks, and you gotta. Hey, man, I hope they give you the ultimate, bro. I hope they give you the ultimate to make an example out of you. You need to get the ultimate penalty so they make an example out of you. And I'm saying, I think he goes some power. Hey, think he goes some power. It's like, man, look, that's a TV show. This is real life. That's real life, bro. You are going to go to prison. That's what's what happened there. You're not going to get off. Now, Jasmine Crockett. Let's talk about her for a minute, shall we? I know Jasmine. We got to talk about her for a minute, though. We got to just... Because I want to say a few things about her. She is going to be exposed here pretty soon. All she really does is just go around talking. No actual legislation going on. No helping the constituents. None of that is really going on. She's just basically doing whatever they tell her. And we got to talk about that white liberal lady kissing her feet. Oh, we're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about that. Okay, now here she is talking about, look, I got to have my taxpayer-funded security. Listen, I got to have my taxpayer-funded security because I'm Jasmine Crockett. No, I'm not going to pay for it out of my own salary. Y'all got to pay for it. And I want my Ritz-Carlton and my Martha's Vineyard. I want all of that paid for by the taxpayer. You ready?
I think that it's really a good question as to why a member of Congress needs to pay for security out of money that they go and raise instead of focusing on making sure that they use that money to educate voters about why it is that their candidacy matters. I do think that it does people like me a disservice when you are so outspoken. And then what happens is instead of you being able to put all your dollars into campaigning, instead, you've got to do things like pay for your security. But I kind of value my life, so it is what it is. And it is what it is.
Okay, my bad. So it's not about the taxpayers, thankfully. It's about, hey, I gotta spend my money I'm raising on my security. Okay, I gotta do that. But there are some things the taxpayers do pay for, like some of her hotel stays and whatnot. Okay, let's go. Keep going here. Hold on. Before we get to that, I just want to show a little bit more. Now, here she is on TV talking about Epstein and whatnot. Now, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the hairstyle or the ears. It's like she lost weight. I don't know. And just a PSA, since I'm right here, I'm not quite sure if she's on Ozempic or not. I have no idea. I don't know. But it looks kind of fishy. I want to warn y'all against Ozempic, which I call it GOP. That's the rebrand. That's funny. Y'all rebranded Ozempic as GOP to make it sound a little bit more official. Don't take that drug, please. It's going to hurt you.
Thanks so much for joining us. What stands out to you?
And all that Ozempic does is force you to stop eating. If you got to take drugs to stop eating, you got a different problem going on.
From these emails that were publicly released by the committee today?
Yeah, so number one, it is clear that he knew what was going on, which I think that he's kind of alluded to that at some point in time, because the president said that he was trying to kick Ghislaine out of Mar-a-Lago because it seems like that's where girls were being recruited from based on information that we have.
Okay, there we go. So that's Jasmine talking. There's a lot being spent right here. There's a lot of money. The hairstyle, this big braid, this big anchor braid, this big Navy sailboat anchor braid, that's a lot of money right there. The earrings, the brooch, the red Suge Knight suit. You want to see the executive all in the videos, dancing, kind of death row. Hold on. Matter of fact, can I pull up Suge right quick? At the, was it Social Awards or the BET Awards, whatever that was. Okay, yeah. Hey. Wait. Now I got to play the video for the young guys who've not seen this. And what's funny is that he dissed Puff right here, which was hilarious. And Puff not gonna come home for a while, so shout out to him. In jail drinking. So you see what's going on. You see the outfit.
Family on both sides, you know what I'm saying?
There we go. So who wore it better? Who wore the big red outfit better? Suge Knight, 1995, or Jasmine Crockett? Like, what's going on? Y'all let me know in the comments. Anyway, let's keep going. Now, what I wanted to show was not Suge Knight on stage at the Social Awards with the red shirt. I want to show this cringe right here. Now, I remember Jasmine talking about, she was kind of complaining. She was saying, she was asking why she didn't get sent to white places, basically. They have her go to these urban environments to speak to people. She's like, you know what? I could talk to more people aside from the urban. It's like, all right, you want that for real? Don't worry about it. Let's go ahead and just send you out there and see how you like that. What happened was this white liberal right here kissed Jasmine Crockett's shoe, her boot. I don't want to say she kissed her feet, because that is something else. Okay. I don't want to accuse her of being involved in some kind of freaky activity, but I feel like it might be right in that same ballpark. Because what are you doing on the ground kissing somebody's foot? That's like the Hebrew Israelites. Kiss that boot, white boy. She really did that in real life. But anyway, let's hear from the white lady, shall we?
Can you confirm that I just kissed your sneakers? This is true. it. She's on camera saying she'll do the radio. I am. We're doing it. Future senator of the great state of Texas. I'm gonna miss Ted Cruz so much. He's so likable. Oh my God. Representative, can you?
All right, there we go. So, listen, please, I beg you, do not do that to me in public. Don't get on the ground and hey, stand up. If I see one of y'all doing that, I'm gonna just joke you right on up. It's gonna be like zip, like a tape measure, just right on up. Please get off the ground. Do not be trying to kiss my feet. I'm not into that freaky stuff. Okay, I don't know what y'all got going on. I don't know what kind of life you live. Hey, it's no hate, no judgment, but I'm not into that. Okay, a handshake could be fine. A handshake, a picture, a little arm hug. It's fine. Do not get on the ground and kiss my feet. I'm not into that. A literal bootlicker, exactly, Scarring Fox, Scarfing Fox, an actual bootlicker. They call us bootlickers because we say we support the police and everything else and the armed forces. You literally on the ground bootlicking. That's crazy. So yeah, Jasmine. What's going on right here? You know what? It's funny. I was thinking about this earlier. You were asking to do more non-urban stuff. Well, there you go. There you go right there. Now you have it. Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Back in the day, I had a job at This is my first job. One of my first jobs. I worked at Sam's Club back in the day when I was like 16 in high school. And in the summertime. And I was complaining about not getting enough hours. And what they did in that schedule was give me 8-hour shifts every day with no days off for a week. The purpose was to discourage me from doing that again, from asking for those kind of hours again. The same thing happened in here. You want to go out there with the whites? Okay, well, when you get this white lady to get on the ground and kiss your feet, you might think differently. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Now, here's some of her expenses. We got to show some of those right quick. The expenses. FEC filings expose this Texas fraud, dropping $75,000 on luxury hotels, limos, private security in Martha's Vineyard, New York City, and Vegas. Okay, let's check it out. Here we go.
The hog right now. And for a woman who is openly flirting with trying to run for Texas Senate seat against Senator either John Cornyn or whoever comes out of that primary, you are seeing a woman who's not spending an awful lot of time in Texas. That whole list of places she's been living high on the hog, I didn't see anything mentioning Dallas or Houston.
Not been in Amarillo.
Laredo or Amarillo, right? She's all across the country making sure that she is getting taken care of, that her nails look fabulous, and that she is sounding off however she wants to. The hog right now. And
of course, it's not even really about nothing. It's not about trying to actually represent Texas and her constituents. It's about just being the mouthpiece of the Democratic Party. It's like being Joseph Goebbels. You out there spreading propaganda, mostly to your urban audience or whatever. That's your job. You're not there to legislate. You're there for that purpose and that purpose only. So in that purpose, you're going to be going to nice, fancy digs and all that kind of good stuff. All right, that's kind of what's going on there. Now, Kamala says she was playing 3D chess. Hey, she said she was playing 3D chess in the campaign against Trump. Well, I think Trump might have been playing 4D or 5D or 8D chess because her 3D chess wasn't enough. It wasn't enough because she got stomped into wine, quite literally. Okay, the finest glass of wine you ever had in your life, she got stomped into. Let's watch.
Was aware of my opponent's strategies, and I wasn't about to fall prey or fall into those traps. And part of his strategy and those around him was to try and take me off our game and message. And I wasn't about to be distracted by those flames that he was trying to throw to get me away from my highest priority, which was talking to people about the economy and their well-being in terms of their financial well-being. And I understood the game that was being played, and I made a decision that I wasn't going to get played. And
chess, not checkers. Got it.
Chess, not checkers.
yeah.
Boy, cringe. Is that the word, man? I'm so glad. Listen, I am so glad that she did not become the president. That would have been terrible. That would have been awful for the whole, not just for the United States, but for the whole world. It would have been a disaster. She sound half drunk right there. Now, I know if she was to be in the actual Oval Office, she'd be drinking like a fish. I'm talking about drunk as a skunk every day. It would have been a whole intervention in the Oval Office. Can you imagine an Oval Office intervention? Kamala, you're drinking way too much wine. Okay, you're doing way too much. You sound crazy. You got to stop. I'm glad. Hey, shout out to you guys. Shout out to the whole country for not voting for her. I'm glad we didn't do that because, again, that would have been a mess. Okay, let's talk about Trump and the whole thing with the 600,000 Chinese migrants or students or whatever, because that seems to be an issue people got a problem with. Let's talk about some of that, shall we? All right, here we go. And the context, there's a matter of fact, hold on. Before I play this video, I got to give you some better context so you understand what's going on. All right, so this comes from the White House. Let me zoom out this way. All right, White House clarifies Chinese student visa policy. President Trump isn't proposing an increase in the student visas for Chinese students. The 600,000 references 2 years worth of visas is simply a continuation of existing policy. That's the context about Chinese students getting visas to come to American colleges. Okay, so that's the issue. It's not going to be anything new. It's what's already been going on for a long time. All right, so here's Laura Ingraham asking him about those numbers. Let's check it out.
Around with us, I can tell you that.
A lot of MAGA folks are not thrilled about this idea of hundreds of thousands of foreign students in the United States. We have about 350,000 Chinese. One point during COVID, you were going to, push to, get them out, but that was pulled back. You've said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. Why, sir, is that a pro-MAGA position when so many American kids want to go to school and there are places not for them and these universities are getting rich off Chinese money?
Sure. Never said about China, but we do have a lot of people coming in from China. We always have, China and other countries. We also have a massive system of colleges and universities. And if we were to cut that in half, which perhaps makes some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So what?
Well, I think that's a big deal.
Are they fans
you would have the
of the United States?
Yeah, but you would have, as you know, historic.
Okay, but hold on. Let me go back a little bit. I wanted to pause them, but I want them to complete the statement.
Make some people happy. You would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So what?
Well, I think that's a big deal.
Are they fans
you would have the
of the United States?
Yeah, but you would have, as you know, historically black colleges and universities would all be out of business. You would have a system of colleges and universities would
so
go
we're
down
dependent
the
on
tubes.
China to keep our
No,
university
not China,
system
but
going?
I think it's good to have. I actually think it's good to have outside countries. Look, I want to be able to get along with the
They're
world.
not the French. They're the Chinese. They spy on us. They steal our intellectual property.
What, do you think the French are better?
Yeah.
I mean, really? I don't know. I'll tell
Let's pause for a minute. Now, what he's saying about the Chinese students is correct. If you are to eliminate these people coming here, spending money on these colleges, on these degrees, you're going to have a lot of issues with the entire system. If these colleges fail, it wouldn't just be the colleges that suffer. It'd be the communities that suffer. A lot of communities are based on colleges. So a lot of jobs are going to be lost. Okay. And a lot of people are going to have a hard time being able to find somewhere to go. And if you have fewer colleges, the demand for higher education is still going to be there. So the existing colleges will just go up in price. Then you're talking about an affordability issue and a dip in the economy.
I'm not so sure.
Now, if that's worth it to you to get the Chinese out, then it's okay. But let's just talk about what it actually means. It's not as simple as the Chinese go away and there's no penalty. There's no downside to that. There's going to be pros and cons. Let's hear the pros and the cons to make a decision based on that rather than just hearing one side of it.
We've had a lot of problems with the French where we get taxed very unfairly on our technology where, they put 25% taxes on American products. Look, assuming everyone treats us badly, because that's the way I am, but we take in trillions of dollars from students. The students pay more than double when they come in from most foreign countries. I want to see our school system thrive, but at the same time, I know you and I disagree. We're never going to agree on it, but that's okay. And it's not that I want them, but I view it as a business. We have millions and millions of people. Also, I want to get along with countries if possible. People are shocked. Remember, Hillary Clinton said, we'll be in a war. I stopped 8 wars in the last 9 months. I don't want to be in wars. If I am in a war, we're going to win the thing fast, and it'll be violent. But you know what? I don't want to be in wars. But one thing, you don't want to cut half of the people, half of the students from all over the world that are coming into our country, destroy our entire university and college system. I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't lose any.
And don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else. And MAGA wants to see our country thrive.
There we go. What do y'all think about that? Is it worth it to eliminate all the Chinese students if half of the colleges go out of business as a result? Is it worth it? And if the colleges go out of business, then what's next? What do we do after that? I'm not really a big college fan for myself, but colleges are needed. Education is needed for a lot of people. So what do you do? What's next? Now, here's the thing about 50-year mortgages. Let's talk about that right quick.
Housing.
Okay, let's talk about that right quick. 50-year mortgages, because that's a proposal, 50-year mortgages. And again, like I said earlier, it wouldn't just be 50-year mortgages you're able to choose from. It'd be an option of many, but let's watch.
Housing costs are still out of reach. And another thing that your administration is trying to tackle, many Americans, the average age of first-time home buyers are now up to age 40, which is sad. The country you and I grew up in.
I inherited that. Look, you have to understand.
Right, but let me get to the question, though, because your housing director has proposed something that has enraged your MAGA friends, which is this 50-year mortgage idea. So it's significant MAGA backlash, calling it a giveaway to the banks and simply prolonging the time it would take for Americans to own a home outright. Is that really a good idea?
It's not even a big deal. I mean, you go from 40 to 50 years, and what it means is 50, you pay something less from 30. That some people had a 40, and then now they have a 50. All it means is you.
That was funny. She tried to correct him about the whole 30. No, you do have 40-year mortgages that exist right now. You got some that got 40. Typically, you get 30. You also got 15. You could pay it outright in cash. 50 will be another addition, another option you have to choose from.
Pay less per month, you pay it over a longer period of time. It's not like a big factor. It might help a little bit. But the problem was that Biden did this. He increased the interest rates, and I have a lousy Fed person who's going to be gone in a few months.
There we go. So the whole thing about 50, like it's not a big deal. The main thing is we got to be able to get interest rates at a certain level, and people need to be able to have enough money to buy a house. So if that option is good for you, 50-year mortgage, then so be it. That's better, in my opinion, than subprime mortgages like we had back in the 08 times with ARMs and all kind of extra stuff. People that got the loans that shouldn't have got it. People that were not credit worthy getting a 30-year mortgage. That's a 50-year mortgage, if you're credit worthy, is better than a 30-year if you're not credit worthy. A 50-year flat non-adjustable rate is better than a 30-year adjustable rate mortgage, with an unqualified buyer. All right. So that's the thing. It's an option you could take, just like you could do a 15 rather than a 30. You could do that. But people don't do that. Do a 30 because it's cheaper. Although a 15-year is cheaper overall, a 30 is cheaper per month. And that's the bottom line. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do. It's an option. Now, about H-1Bs, talk about that right quick.
Republican.
And it's still better than renting. It is better than renting. And the thing about it is, let's talk about that. Somebody said they'll be dead before the mortgage is paid off. Not necessarily, because you could start at a 50-year, you could refi. You can also pay more than your minimum, pay your mortgage. Your mortgage is your minimum payment. It's like a credit. Okay, if you get a credit card and you put money on it, you charge things on it, you could pay the minimum every month. You could pay the entire balance, or you could pay more than the minimum to eat away at your principal and your interest. Okay, you could do the same thing with a mortgage. It's the same exact principle. You get a mortgage, $400,000, $1 million, whatever. You pay your minimum, which includes interest and maybe a pinch of principal. If you pay more than the minimum, you're able to pay more of the principal than you would normally by paying the minimum. Or you could pay the entire balance if you get the kind of cash in your pocket. Up to you. So a 50-year mortgage could be paid off in 10 years if you pay it properly.
Have to talk about it.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people
no,
here.
You don't. No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have. You don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well, let me
when
just,
you and I were
I'll give you an example. In Georgia, they raised.
That's a good, the Georgia one is a good thing. Now in Georgia, before he gets into it, there was a raid at the vehicle plant. What was that? Kia, I believe, or Hyundai, a Korean plant, South Korean plant. There were engineers from South Korea there to train the Americans to build up this particular part of the plant. And when they were done, they were going to leave. The problem is they had, kind of janky paperwork. It wasn't really all the way done right. They should have been here, but they did not follow the proper procedure to be here.
Because they want.
Let me go back a little bit.
They raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. Making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing. It's very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
Right on. Exactly. He's not advocating for illegal aliens coming across the border willy-nilly from all over the place. He's talking about specialized people, actually skilled people, not the abuse of the H-1B that goes on, actually skilled people to be here for a while and then to go back. That's just what it, and it's always been like that. I live here in Tennessee. We got a Volkswagen plant. They got Germans over here. You got Germans, guter Tag, all of that. I be in Whole Foods or whatever. That's where they be at, Whole Foods. German all day long. They be in Target too, speaking German. Same thing with Nissan and the Japanese. I got all of that over there because you need to have them for their company who are experts in the thing to run certain operations. Maybe they're here for a while. Maybe they're here permanently, whatever it is. You need them in order to get the jobs for Americans. If not for them coming over here, the jobs will not be there for the Americans. That's much different than the border being wide open to everybody in the world. We don't need a bunch of illegal aliens from who knows where doing who knows what, just pouring across. We need specialized, skilled people from all over the world to be here. And that's it. Very simple. And the ultimate benefit should be for Americans, not for anybody else. It should be for Americans. All right. Golf and Gun says, I call BS Americans could do it all. Not really. Not everything. We think we can, but we can't. And you know what? We can be trained, but we got to be trained. We can't just be doing stuff willy-nilly. That's not really how that works. Okay, I'm going to play this because this is somebody I've not watched, but I can tell that it's going to be a woke talking point a little bit. I'm seeing a lot of conservative people, new conservatives that sound just like liberals. And I don't know if it's like a psyop, a way to try and get us off the beaten path and go into liberalism to not support Trump or anybody in 2028. I don't know what it is, but a lot of that is happening as of late. Let me just play this right here. I can already tell it's going to be a bad take a little bit, but let's watch.
Last week, as you guys might remember, I was on an election night panel in New York City at, of all places, CNN. And I was asked point blank about the tanking youth approval ratings for the Trump administration. Why is this happening? When I was asked this at CNN last week, here's what I had to say then. Where young conservative men are at right now. They are wanting reinvestment in our own communities, politicians who are elected to represent we the people instead of constantly making every single political conversation about something happening on the other side of the globe. I would argue young men probably don't think President Trump is conservative enough. And I think America is in for a very strong wake-up call of what that looks like.
Well, I mean, he has...
And I mean it even more now, actually, a week and some change later. Let me spell it out even more simply for you. Young people are frustrated with what is happening in Washington, particularly young conservative people, and notably young conservative men, because we believe our leadership has not been conservative enough. And honestly, we're just done, I think, as a generation, accepting this is the best we can do politics. We are. We want the American government to put the American people first.
All right, so what do you actually want them to do specifically? Like, what do you want the government to do that they're not doing right now?
To be a government that was elected by the people, of the people, and for the people. And we don't think that's a particularly controversial thing to say. So when we see weeks like this, I'll throw this tweet back up on the screen for you from Wall Street Mav.
Okay, so the tweet said 50-year mortgages, $2,000 tariff stimmy checks, Americans can't do jobs, more H-1B, 600,000 Chinese students keeping liberal universities alive. I mean, that's just, that's too much feelings, too much emotion. It's not looking at reality. It's not looking at reality. And a lot of that comes from a soft-minded person that's still kind of liberal.
When we see weeks with the solutions proposed for the problems young people are dealing with completely misreading where young people are at, our passions rise. Because this fundamentally misses the mark for where real young people are at in the real world right now.
But what do you want, though? That's my question. What do you actually want? What would you say will be some solutions to the problems that we face? Because, okay, if you say no more Chinese students, then you're going to have a lot of colleges that close. Okay, so now what do you do about all the closed colleges, all the jobs that are lost, communities that suffer? What are you going to do with them? As far as the mortgages, okay, you don't want that option to do that. Why do you not want that option? You have all the other options. You could do a 40-year, a 30-year, a 15-year, cash, whatever you want. You got all kinds of ways to be able to buy a home. So what do you actually want? Do you want socialism? Do you want communism? Do you want freebies? What do you actually want? I don't understand. If you say that these solutions are not good, what would be a good one? And if anybody in the chat, if anyone in the chat has that same opinion, that the things that were proposed, the mortgage being longer potentially, if you think those things are bad solutions, then what would you propose instead? And I love to help. As a matter of fact, if you want to call me and tell me, I'd love to hear it. I would love to hear it. I'm reading some of the comments here. Okay. I'm not seeing much of a solution. Teach skills. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely do that. Definitely teach skills for sure. Bronze Beauty says, feed a man the fish, you should man the fish. Scarlett O'Hara's Mexican-American kids already know how to lay concrete and build a house. Well, because they get taught by their parents. They get taught back in the country of origin. I've always been saying trade schools are the best. I've been saying that for years. I've been saying we gotta know how to do things with our hands physically. I say that now, and I'm gonna always say that because there's no AI robot that can build a house yet. Maybe one day there will be, but not right now. And even if there is, you still should have those skills so you could do certain things. Like I could frame a house right now. Like if I wanted to just add on, if I wanted to frame a room in my house, I could do it right now today. I have those skills. When I was in high school, I took shop, and what we did at the end was frame sheds and sell them. So I can do that right now. I have that skill. And I think if you have that skill, it'll make you more marketable in the economy, but also you'll be able to do things on your own without having to pay someone to do it. Okay? You should have skills to be able to function in society beyond having to pay somebody to do it for you. All right, I'm gonna read some of the comments here. 3D printed housing, that's one day, but somebody got to operate the machine. Okay, Crypto Mountain Man says less regulations in home building, more U.S. young people building houses. I like that a lot. Apprenticeship programs, for sure. All right. Sagolf says H-1Bs are useful, but we need to make sure they aren't Americans that can do the work. I'm with you. I agree. Keep Right says rent, let the housing market fall. Let's pause. The thing about renting is that you're empowering the multinational corporations, the BlackRock and whatnot, because what they do is take all the risk of buying a home so you don't have to, and they rent to you. So you're not going to actually make the market fall. You're going to make the rental market increase. And then that'll be a problem. Oh, BlackRock buying all the houses. Nah, that's what you want. You want to rent. You don't want to buy. So your need will be met. Your need shall be met. Okay, so 50-year car loan, that's crazy. Hey, some of y'all buying these cars for $100,000. I mean, crazy. You buying a pickup truck for $100,000, that's out of this world. I would never. Okay. Garrow's pinup says, I did the 15 and paid it off at 9. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, Bryce, you gotta be patient, bro. I've been seeing you in the chat all night. You gotta be patient. Work on your patience, bro. So I'm gonna get to the calls right now. The number to call is 706-406-3287. But before I get to the calls, I got super chats first. When the calls are available, I'll give you the notification. All right, I'll let you know to call in. But right now, wait just 1 minute before I get to the calls here. All right, let me find super chats because it's hiding today. The super chats are hiding today. Y'all give me one moment. And where we at? Let's go over here. And okay, I think I'm on the right place. There we go. Thank you to Trumpinator who says, ABL, is that your brother they got from earlier? Yes, he was. Trumpinator says, ABL, do you like spam? I'm not really a spam guy. Spam is what you eat when you starving to death. In my humble opinion. Shout out to the Hawaiians. I know y'all love spam in Hawaii, so no disrespect to the Hawaiians. Aloha and all that good stuff. Mauricio91 says, but ABL, the diet don't work the same. Hey, man, that's the dumbest thing in the world that bit lady said. Thank you to the real Bryce T who says, they got as much soul as Kamala Harris stepping on greens in the bathtub. There we go. All righty, there we go. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. And let me turn the phone calls on right now. And we are ready to roll. All right. Taylor says, I cannot afford a house because I spend $3,000 a month on rent. Well, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money on rent. You might want to go to Podunkville, USA and live in the shed or something like that and spend a little bit less. Sagolf says, ABL, are you against Trump letting in all those engineers? Nah, not really, because if they are a benefit to the country, then why would I be against it? I'm all for bringing in skilled people and those who are not going to be a burden upon society. What I'm against are bringing in people who just do menial jobs for a cheap amount of money, for a low amount of money, or who do no work at all and just eat and get fat all day on our taxpayer dollar. 678, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Bryce.
All right, man. What's going on?
Oh, not much, man. Just calling in to talk about what you're talking about with the housing.
All right. So what's on your mind about that?
All right. So I pay about $2,300 a month, and I live north of Atlanta in a rural area for a rental house, for a rental apartment and I'm looking for a house right now. Man, all these houses are getting built up tall instead of wide because they're trying to like find space on land or save space on land, I guess. But they want an unfinished basement under there for like $3,000. You'll pay $3,000 for a 3-story house, but you can't even use a third of the house. It's ridiculous. And I'm trying to start a family, and I'm already paying too much. You just can't save. And I'm just trying to figure out. I think a lot of frustration is coming from us not being able to save. And I think, like my mom's generation, she's in her 50s, not understanding that prices are not going to come down. I think that people and corporations, I'm a capitalist, conservative, voted for Trump, all that, still will, through and through. They see what they can make now, and they're not going to back down from that because we keep buying. So I don't think the prices will ever come down.
Okay. Okay, so you looking in the city of Atlanta?
No, I live in Flowery Branch, so rural, Hall County, Jackson County.
Okay, so are you looking out there in Flowery Branch to buy a house?
Yep.
And they're building tall and they're building tall out there?
Yes, sir.
That's interesting.
Tall and small.
So are these like refurbished old homes? Like, what are we doing? Is it like a
brand new?
Oh, brand new. Where you look at new builds? Have you looked at
old?
old?
Yeah, well, that's all they have out here because it's very industrial. But I'm looking more to, like, I was just trying to rent a house, and today I went and looked at one, man. I mean, I really liked it, but all 5 bedrooms were upstairs. It's like, what are we doing?
Okay, Flowery Branch. Hold on. Oh, you up there? Like you gonna like
30 minutes from Helen.
Yeah. I know. I saw. It's like you by the lake and all that. You're gonna pay out there. You're gonna pay. Like you in the rural area, kind of, but it's still you're gonna pay
less.
So
it's less than like some areas around. It's probably the cheaper of most areas around here. But yeah.
Now you could go down south side. How about that?
That's where I'm from.
You from there? Well, you could do that. How about that?
I'm from Warner Robins. You know why I moved up here? Because I make more money.
Exactly. And I bet you it's cheaper than Warner Robins, ain't it?
It's a hell of a lot cheaper. Sorry, no cursing.
Now but that's what I'm saying. It's like you're living in a place where you make more, but it costs more. So you got to find the middle ground of being able to make what you want to make, but also being able to afford what things cost out there.
Yes, sir. I completely agree. And you know what I did for the first year and a half when I worked up here? I drove from Warner Robins, Georgia, all the way up to Atlanta every day for a year and a half.
Wow.
Until it became unmanageable, you know?
Well, you could go
like a 2-hour drive one way.
You could go McDonough, Stockbridge.
You know I ain't going down there in South Fulton.
I was like, but look, it's cheaper though, right? It's cheaper though, and it ain't that far from Atlanta. So you know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm saying. It's like people don't want to live in the hood. They don't want to go through them kind of.
It's not bad. My daddy lived there, man. He worked at Dobbins Air Force Base. He was an air traffic controller. He retired. We won't even get into it why he retired, but he retired from Dobbins Air Force Base and lived in McDonough. And he moved to Texas. So
see, your dad lived in the place and he built himself up. Then he's like, okay, now I got to go somewhere else. So you got to have that same kind of mentality your dad had.
I'm trying to. It's just hard, man. You know, like I'm trying to get engaged, and man, it's just rough. And it's just hard out. It's harder out here than you think for.
No, I mean I get it, man. Listen,
younger people.
I've been there. I've been young before. I've been struggling before. When I was like in my late 20s, especially, I ain't had no car for like 4 years. I was walking everywhere, catching the bus.
I'm not struggling. If I can afford $2,300 a month rent, I think I'm okay.
Well,
I'm not saying I'm struggling.
Well, okay. So you're not. You're saying it's tough, but you're not struggling. So which one is it?
I'm saying I feel like I'm making. That's my point. I feel like if I was making the money I'm making now 10 years ago, I would not be struggling. It's weird to be struggling right now, I guess.
So are you struggling or not?
I'm struggling.
All right, then. That's what I'm saying. So I mean, I've been where you are before. Like as I was saying, when I was like 28, I had to sell my car. I had no car for like 3 or 4 years. I'm walking everywhere. I'm catching the bus. I remember one time I had to put $20 in the bank to cover my rent check because I wrote it and I didn't have the $20. If I didn't have $20 in my pocket to put in the bank that night, I would have got evicted. So I've been there.
Yes, sir.
We all go through times like this, but you just got to persevere, keep going, and don't give up. And you're living in the best country in the world, and you in Atlanta, that area already is going to be even more jumping, more money going to come there because that's going to be the new New York. You're in a prime location. You're doing well for yourself right now. Just keep going, man. It's going to get better.
Yes, sir. I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely
keep doing the good
it.
work.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Sir.
So yeah, shout out to young man. Hey, I've been in your shoes before. You know, young guys are going through the struggles and the challenges. That's just part of being young. It's part of being young. Keep going. Keep grinding to the next level. You get to where you want to go for sure. One second to you on the line, 617.
Hey, what's going on, man? I was watching the video that you have for Ben Shapiro. I mean, there's so many crazy things in your opinions. But let's just start with that, right? I guess Ben Shapiro was saying that people should move in the places they cannot afford.
Pretty much, basically.
Okay, so let's you know the history of minorities, especially blacks living in major cities. You look at how decimated those cities are, how unsafe those cities were, the building condition, the conditions on some of these buildings that were, and the rent was apparently not too expensive, right? So now these same people, I don't know you. I mean, I don't think you watch politics for a very long time, but Ronald Reagan went to the Bronx one time, and he told those people that live there, well, you know, government investing is not going to help. Even that Jimmy Carter already had a plan, building homes with private sector funding for people that live in those communities, selling them at the fair market value that they could pay. The program was stopped, everything. You know what Ronald Reagan told them? Well, don't live here, move to the suburbs. So the blacks that they could afford, you know, they went to school, they did a little bit better, they moved to the suburbs. 30, 40 years forward, after the crack cocaine and all the decimation and all the abuse and everything that done to black people in this country, they decided to build more police stations. They decided to build infrastructure. They built a new Yankee Stadium. They started building apartment near the bank Yankee Stadium. I mean, New York looks completely different. But guess what? The people that live there, they can no longer stay there because the rent is too high. So you do all these things.
Your point is?
My point is, what is the problem in Mandani providing rent freeze for people that live there for quite a while, for New Yorkers? That they are ready, these apartments, they have many building code violations, and the landlords keep raising the rent on them. What is the problem with rent freeze? What is so bad? And what is so bad that increasing subsidies for people that cannot afford homes, so they could stay in their own neighborhoods? What is the problem?
Okay, now as far as the rent freeze is concerned, these kind of programs don't work because if the landlord is not being paid, then how are they able to afford to improve the property?
They're being paid. What do you mean they're not being paid? They're being paid. What are you talking about?
It's a rent freeze. Who's paying the rent?
Man, do you know what rent freeze is, bro?
Who's paying the rent?
The tenant.
So what is a rent freeze in your mind?
Rent freeze is that you cannot increase the rent as you want. The rent will stay steady. It's okay. Stay steady.
Okay,
but a certain period of time.
The problem is, okay. All right. The problem is, stop talking. The problem is, my same point still stands. If they can't raise the rent to the appropriate level, how are they going to afford to pay for the repairs? Because the repairs, the things that go into a home increase with time. So you can't just say we can't increase the rent. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, let me help you out. Let me walk you through everything. The rent in New York, in certain, like for example, in the Bronx, is already way over the limit.
Over what limit?
Why?
Oh, wait.
Wait.
No. Wait. What limit is? What are you talking about? The limit? What limit?
Well, for example, why they rent in the Bronx for one bedroom is $2,300.
Okay.
And what Mandani was saying that this landlord.
Wait. What's excuse me? What is the limit? You said it was over the limit. What's the limit?
Well, I mean, why the rent would increase to 300% in less than 20 years?
Because you have inflation.
400%. Why? What is the reason?
You have inflation that happens throughout the whole country.
What the inflation got to do with rent?
Excuse me.
What the inflation got to do? Like, dude, you have no idea what you're saying. You have no idea.
You don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're saying because inflation. Listen, inflation impacts everything, not just grocery store prices or cars. It affects your rent. It affects your mortgage. It affects everything. The materials, the repair costs, all of that goes up too.
You have no idea what you're saying, ABL. So
you don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're saying because all the rent goes up, mortgages go up. That's called inflation.
Okay, let me help you out for 3 minutes. You are gonna allow me to explain to you for 3 minutes?
We don't got that much time, so make it 1 minute.
Okay, because it takes more than 3 minutes. You're saying a bunch of things that doesn't make any sense.
Stop.
Okay, so one of the major problems that led to home values to go way over the limit, it was when they lowered the interest rate.
What limit?
You're gonna allow me to explain?
What limit?
Okay, see, if you have an interest rate of 5 to 7%, and home values remain the same because not too many people are buying homes, that means that rent cannot increase as much.
That's not how that works.
Now, but you're going to allow me to explain or not?
That's not how that works.
Okay, if you lower the interest rate to 2%, 2.83% from 5%, and you have a low, obviously the payment's going to be lower. If the payments are lower, more people will buy homes. That's one part. You're going to allow me to explain to you or not?
Go ahead.
Then you have the FHA loans, where you only require a 3.5% down payment and low credit score. They even lower the credit score, so more people will buy in this home. Fine, these people that bought this home when the value was increasing was fine. And also, you have the equity firm buying buildings and increasing the value of the rent as they like, as the demand like. So that means people that live in Manhattan, they can afford these prices in Manhattan, they move to the Bronx. The other thing is your boy, President Trump, planning to increase the amount of HB1 visa, the working visa, and the student visa. He's planning to bring 600 Chinese students into the United States. The students need a place to live, so rent goes up.
That's not true. That's not true. Excuse me. That's not true. I read.
Okay.
Excuse me. I read a statement earlier from the White House, and it said that the number of Chinese students is not going to increase. That is the current number that has been going on for many years. But go ahead.
No, that's not true.
It is true. I read it earlier. So
okay. Yeah. Blah blah blah.
Okay. I read it earlier. I read it earlier. So look, we don't got all day. You just kind of rambling. So my point is, why do you think that rent should not go up? You're talking. Can nobody hear you? I can't hear you either. So just shut your mouth. Why do you think that rent shouldn't go up? Why do you think that it should stay the same? Do you think rent should just be the same for 20 years and not go up at all?
No, but don't increase.
So if rent should go up according to you, then when should it go up?
Rent can go up, but not as much as 300%.
So what is the limit?
For 300.
Excuse me, what's the limit?
When?
You said that rent should go up, but not by 300 to 400%. So
yes.
Excuse me. So what is the limit?
My fucking Lord, man, dude, you are you acting a fool or what?
You said the rent should go up, but it should not go up 300 to 400%.
Rent goes up as inflation go up, and also as the labor market and also the pay go up. So that means if you make, let's say minimum wage is $20.
I'm waiting for the answer. Come on, keep talking. We don't got all day.
Let's assume the rent goes $200. Let's say it went from $500 to $700. how come the rent is going to go in 5 years to $1,400? That means go above the average.
My question, excuse me, sir. My question to you was: you said the rent should not go up 300 to 400%, but you said it should go up. So excuse me. If you say it should go up, but it should not go up 300 to 400%, what is the limit to what it can go up to?
According to the demand.
So you don't know. So the answer is you don't know. So if you don't know, then why would you? So if you don't know the answer, why would you say what the answer is not?
Okay, ABL, trying to understand.
Nah, I understand very well. You're just not really that smart. You're just kind of retarded. That's all.
You are the one that doesn't understand here. If you have 3,000 houses for sale. Oh, you put them on hold. Okay.
Nah, go on. Come on, man. Like, you don't got a night. Come on, get it out.
Okay. So if you have 3,000 homes for sale, for example, and you have 2,000 buyers, do you think the home value is gonna go up versus having 10,000 people wanting to buy those homes? So if you have more people that want to buy homes and less home available, that means home values will go up as much. Will go even way much more. And the reason is because the interest rate, they keep it too low, FHA loans conditions that are never been in favor of the FHA loans, and also labor market conditions. All these people that never live in New York, never interested in living in New York, moved to New York because school and work decided to expand and move into neighborhoods that they will never ever thinking about living because the safety and the condition change. That's the reason that rent is going up. So what is the problem with Mandani putting subsidized rent? What's the problem with that?
Because it doesn't work. And ultimately what's going to happen is you're not going to fix the issue of slumlords or anything like that because the money got to come from somewhere to fix these properties. It's simple as that.
Dude.
But thank you for the call. Thank you for the call. Have a nice night. Have a nice night. Been on too long. We don't got all night. You're dumb, bro. You don't understand the way the economy works. Rent goes up because you have inflation. The property costs more to maintain. Your power bill costs more. Your water bill costs more. The cost to actually repair certain things, GC is going to cost more. Your materials cost more. Everything costs more. Maintenance of your home is going to increase with time because of inflation and other factors, but definitely your maintenance. Also, there could be a high demand on the property. So if you're living in Manhattan and you got a property on the market and you list it and there's a bidding war right away, and a bunch of properties have that same thing happen to it. It's a bidding war right away. Everybody's like, yeah, I pay it right now. I pay it in cash. At a certain point, you got to raise the price to what the market is able to actually afford. Now, this may price out some people, but it is what it is. That's just the way real estate is. So if you're priced out, now it's time to go. You can't just say, keep the rent the same. There's no incentive for the landlord to do anything to the home or to rent it out because they're not making money they should be making. They might actually end up losing money. It doesn't make any sense. It's something that doesn't work. It's communism. Communism doesn't work. We've tried it over and over again. It never, ever works. Rent going to go up because things go up. Inflation going to go up. The demand is higher. If you're living in a community where it's not a lot of people there, it's not super high demand, all of a sudden, you build a stadium there, you put something out there, you get more financial resources there. Now it becomes more desirable. And as a result, the property is going to be worth more money. If you fix up a neighborhood that was ramshackle, dilapidated, it'll be worth more money. Therefore, it's going to cost more to live there. So when you say like gentrification happens and it fits with the neighborhood, yeah, it's going to cost more because you have a better neighborhood. You can't, people want to have both ways. They want to live for poverty prices and a beautiful place. It don't work like that. If you pay poverty prices, you're going to live in poverty. If you pay not poverty prices, you're going to live better. It's up to you to determine what level of ambition you're going to have to live where you want to live. That's how that works. It's not up to the government to make that decision for you. Let's see you on the line, 917.
Hi, ABL. It's Corinne from NYC.
All righty, what's going on?
I am stunned. I've heard Ivan say a lot of crazy things, but when he said, what does the rent have to do with inflation?
Crazy.
I'm sorry. I cannot be. I was like, what is happening? We really need to bring back economics classes in school.
For sure.
That's the craziest thing I ever heard somebody. Yeah, so I just wanted to call in because I heard you talking about people just, that's what you do within the U.S. You move around. It is very natural. It's not just like for a job. It's, especially when you're getting married, with a new spouse or something. It's like they have a different family background. They have family in one area. I am born and raised in New York. I have spent a lot of time East Coast states, but my mom's side of the family is Southern based. So, I have considered, like, I visited cousins in Georgia, Macon, Georgia. We have family in North Carolina. I have a best friend, I visited in Texas. My friend was an Army wife. She was all over, so she moved around because, she was based in different states. You just move around because you go to, like you said, you go to school, and then wherever you went out to college, you consider maybe living there. You have your future your in-laws that are based in one spot, and then you want to raise kids near the in-laws, so you just move around.
Exactly. That's the way it goes. It's always been like that. And then sometimes
it's always been. This is not new.
It's not new. No, if you got a family member that says, hey, you know what, I'm out here and things are looking good, it's good jobs out here. That's how California happened for a lot of black folks, especially because at the time it was like no crime and all of that. People just moved. Same thing with people going to Michigan and whatnot to the plant from down south. Okay, we got jobs up here. Let's go. Like, it's always been that way. But sometimes people feel like they are above doing that, but you're not above doing that.
No, not at all. I mean, my cousins, everything. Like, my cousin was out. Where did she go? She went to different places. She was out in Jersey for a little bit. Then she was near D.C. Then she went over to Baltimore, because she was dating somebody close by at the time, left D.C. My mom, actually Southern, all over in the South, our side of the family, her side of the family, met my dad. He had something going in New York. She left to come to New York with her husband.
Exactly.
That's the way it goes. I actually considered, when I was engaged to somebody, he had family in Cali, I was considering going out there. So that's the way it goes. This is not new. That's how you move around. You move around for jobs. You move around, and then you're based in one area because you have your in-laws over there, and it's family now, So, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that, and that's about it. I mean, I'm not, I know people asking about, how's everybody feeling over here because of what happened with the mayoral election. I'm not leaving. I remember I was scared about the Bernie thing too, when that was happening. But I'm not going anywhere. I mean, it still feels like the same vibe. I just keep my TV off and I just keep making my money and doing what I have been doing. So I just hope that, it's not going to get too crazy here. But yeah, I mean, I know of people that are already ready to get up out. People are scared, especially business owners. I know, people are already freaking out. I know small business owners, a lot of small business owners are not happy. Landlords. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going anywhere because I'm set up, but I wouldn't mind but right now I'll stay. I'll hold out and try to fight. All right, ABL, thanks for the show. I'll let you keep taking some calls if you're going to continue. Have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right, great call. Shout out to her. Let's go to 859. You don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
All right. It's your Luciferian Libertarian here, the combination of Hami Amalei and Anton LaVey. I'm guessing you had an interesting conversation with Ivan. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, interesting is a word.
I can make a better argument by saying there's different forms of rent freeze involving the different variations of different months, depending on state or federal implications. And, also the basis of there's also people who do take advantage of it, but also there's also people who just need it for about a month, and not everything's black and white or gray. So his approach was always, when he comes in, was guns blazing. And I thought that was interesting. And I was like, dude, come on, man. But I was watching your show, and it was interesting that all these people with the food stamps and EBT and stuff like that, they don't realize when they're complaining about the whole junk food, they can't have junk food. They don't realize what involves their body. If you're getting government assistance through EBT, not only that, the health insurance has to pay for your health problems later on. That's why you see in Europe, the drink Fanta, it's completely different between Europe and the United States. The United States is more of a soda. Over in Europe, it's literally like a juice, made from all natural juice. And Germany. So what you're drinking, this Fanta here, is completely the opposite over there. A lot of our food are more enhanced, and it has more carbohydrates, more sugars, gets you addicted to it because it's like more of a profit base. Well, we have this country of bigger with bigger is better. With our food, especially with our portions. Add that with the EBT, and you see all these people, and you notice from the DoorDash driver on your show, most of it was soda pop. All of it was soda pop. We cannot have a socialized health insurance company here at all. Health at all, it would not work because you got so many people eating junk food, and that new governor, the socialist governor, right, who wants to promise all these free things. It's like, well, it wouldn't be as maintainable at all. It'd be a total failure. Total failure, because the economy would totally collapse because you would have so many people going to the doctor for all the stuff they'd be eating. And, the diabetes. And even when they're, even when they're young, I've seen kids who come in with diabetes because their parents would just feed them junk food. And it's an insanity,
Absolutely.
And sorry about that, but it wouldn't be maintainable. It would be not maintainable at all, especially if you're evolving our bad habits of like what we have to have is bigger and better and bigger portions, and then you evolve the taxpayers' money to it, and then you have the supposedly free health insurance. That would the whole government and like a local town by itself would collapse over time. I mean, Europe, they do it in a way that you have the state funded government health care, but also you have the capitalistic side. These politicians now are trying to eliminate anything involvement with the market, which is that doesn't work at all. Am I right or am I wrong?
You right on point, boss.
Right on. And then look at this right here. The reason why they don't pay as much pay for much in their taxes for what they're paying for, because we're paying for all their military stuff all over across sea. We're paying for their security. And I think it's unfair that they don't have their military. But at the exact same time, I'm just a guy who does deliveries. And hey, I'll talk to you guys later. Luciferian Libertarian. I'm going to go ahead and take a blinker. 420. Much love. I want to go back playing video games.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, thank you very much for your insight, man. Much love, bro. See ya.
All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. I think that will be a wrap for me tonight. It's getting past my bedtime, but I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling as always. If you like what you heard tonight, if you enjoyed the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. That'll be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys for being here. Y'all know you guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs, and I could not do this show without you. Thank you for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. You guys are the best. Also, thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. I think I got all the super chats, I believe. Let me make sure that I got them all. Before I wrap it on up, put the bowl clean on top. I did. I got everything. So shout out to you guys for super chatting. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back live again on Saturday. Same bat time, same bat place. 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm also live on Tuesdays on the Instagrams. Shout out to you guys who were there on Instagram last night. I enjoyed that a lot. And I'll be putting out pre-recorded videos all throughout the week. I got a good cooking video. Y'all guys are asking for that. I redid the one I did a while back. Much better this time. It's going to be looking good. Y'all are asking me, how do we eat? What do we eat? I got you. Don't worry about it. My diet is so good. Listen, I've been up since 8 a.m., no naps, had probably about 5 hours of sleep, no naps, no caffeine. I don't do no drugs. I'm turned up. And I'm probably going to be turned up until I go to bed, probably about 2 o'clock in the morning, and up 8 a.m. the next morning. I'm 41 years old. Why? I eat well. I take care of my body. You know, that's the main thing you got to do. Sleep is also important. I try to get about 6 hours. Maybe 7. Anything beyond that, that's a little much. Maybe I'll do 7.5 on the weekend on a Sunday, but really about 6. That's about what I get normally every day. And I'm turned up, a lot of energy all day. No caffeine, no coffee, no soda, no energy drinks, no nothing. The most I do is my Milo's unsweet. Well, it's like, I don't know what they put in there. The zero sugar tea, I drink that. That's all I got. And coconut water and water. That's all I do. But again, cooking video coming out soon. Uncle ABL, I'll put it on that channel. I know I don't do a lot of it over there right now, but I will put that on there. Any questions, comments, concerns, I know what to do. Email me at contact@anthonyblogan.com. All my contact information is in the description. And I think I got everybody. I got all my I's dotted and T's crossed. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out and peace.